Want to get those toughies and other rewards for free? From November 9th to 19th, simply conquer battle missions and get chests. To open them, tune in to the Blitz Stellar Cup live streams. By doing so, you'll snag the keys needed and earn up to 900 Ordium shards. Inside the chests, you'll discover a constellation of surprises, a mystery certificate among them. You'll also have the chance to obtain the mighty M4A1 Revalorise and the Bofors Tornbang. Be sure to stay updated with the stream schedule on the official site and have a lot of fun.
Hello world, here we go again. It's World of Tanks Blitz official stream. My name is Alexandra. Here you can see Legend Bushka. And this is Blitz Stellar Cup finals for APAC region. I'm excited to start. Let's go. How are you doing today?
I'm pumped to be here. We had a really good grand final series prior to this, the top four, sorting out the wheat from the chaff. And there's going to be some big games today. I feel like these teams are a lot closer together than they appeared with the numbers, and we're going to get some big games. Pumped.
Fingers crossed. Best of luck, teams. I know that they're getting ready for the first match, and of course I will be fighting for the prize pool, money prize pool, and it's 50k for the region. Yeah. But of course, viewers of this stream can also receive rewards. How to do it? Let's check on my tablet. It's pretty simple. You just need to log into the game and find the Blitz Stellar Cup event in your garage. And there are some links for the streams. Just tap on the link and voila, you are redirected to the official portal where you need to be logged in to receive the rewards. Do not close the tab and you'll get your 6 keys and fortune shards for the season constellation event. Easy peasy, let's go, let's get it started. If you are on YouTube, please let's go to portal to receive some nice rewards to get tanks from the containers, of course. Okay, let's check the brackets to know the teams who are fighting today for money and respect, of course.
Oh, yeah. Some of the same olds, their risk here to defend their title. Good to see ID in there this year. They were very strong all season, top 2 right through. And Rote Nova, who were dominant in the lead up. And again, just pretty much the creme de la creme of APAC tanking, those 3 clans. Lots of very good efforts getting there. Trass and GV really gave it a good shake. There was some interesting games. We had a couple of ammo racks again. The IS-7 has been ammo racked an awful lot in these finals. But we also saw our first VK7201 ammo rack. So pretty cool. Pretty good lineup.
Okay, so the first match is going to be between Rotanova and Team ID, well-known teams for the APAC region. We've met them for 100 times on the tournament arena, and best of luck to these teams, of course, in their first match. The one team will take the 3rd place, of course, right in the first match. So let's check the visit cards of our lovely teams.
Let's have a squiz. I'm excited for this.
There's going to be, again, some Tarantino.
Yeah, here we go. We're going to have a look here. I love these new cards. This is Uncrowned from Rote Nova. Drives a big heavy all the time. I am Bread Tank. He has absolutely touched me up on the Asia server many times. Off meeting 0 people, how we all feel sometimes, I believe. Great hit there. Wadu, light driver extraordinaire, the big Wadu. Does a lot of good things in his spare time. And one of the strongest players to ever come out of APAC. Obviously, these boys and girls, lots of chemistry, an awful lot of games together. Kujo Jotaro has 140,000 games of Blitz under the hood. NC Stargazer, love the Stargazer. Can't get enough of the Stargazer. Always one of my favourite people. The Judgment, there he is again. Love a bit of Judgment. Love him so much, we saw him twice. Rote Nova, great clan, straight out of Japan, and obviously perennial finalists and tournament team.
Yeah, so they are already in Discord talking to each other.
Pumped up.
Yeah,
bit of face slapping in the dressing sheds, bit
sharing
of punching
some
into the
energy.
bag, heavy bag work.
Yeah,
Just getting excited.
So we wish best luck to Rotanova, and let's check who is playing in our Blizzard Cup APAC finals.
We've got ID, I think. The Blast from Korea, and they've actually opened up and let a few non-Korean players into the team this time around, which is the first. I think they're hungry for a little bit of glory. We're going to have a look at the card now, I think.
Yeah.
First time I ever called Blitz was in New York in 2016, and ID were the APAC server team then. Campon, obviously the captain, the heroic captain. Monk drives an awful lot of light stuff. Very, very good in the bat chat. Dripping with finesse. Now, wonderful human being, the Drip. We're going to have a couple of... There's Zonk. We're going to have... That looks amazing. These cards are absolutely glorious. If we have a look at this, one of these teams is... Yeah, that is Strunchki, I think is how we pronounce that. It is the Russian, and that's Pashtyet. Now, Pashtyet means bait. I don't know if we're going to actually run him as bait or Pashtyet, but we'll see how I'm feeling on the night when I start casting this. And there's Kiz. Straight out of Malaysia, Kiz. Love his work. ID, just a hell of a clan. One of my most happy memories in Blitz is being in New York and meeting like a whole bunch of these Korean guys coming out of a hotel, and they all just started yelling and hugging me and saying hello. And it was Gramixan and the boys, and I was like, they were there for Asia, and they were really the underdogs. No one expected them to do well, and they played this iron fist style of tanking, which was just incredible, and it took everyone by storm. They came second in the tournament, so hats off to them. They did really, really well.
Felt yourself like a Santa Claus?
Yeah, I did. I was just surrounded. None of them are that tall either. I'm like 6'5", so it was exciting.
Okay, they need some stairs to hug you.
Yeah.
Me too. Okay, so let's check Team Risk visit card. Also our well-known players, and best of luck to Team Risk, who is already in the final brackets.
Yeah, Risk featuring actually a couple of Australian players as well. They're from all over. They're the real cosmopolitan team of Blitz on the APAC server. Hell of a successful team too. There is Pookie, wonderful light tank driver, the Pookster. Mozzarella, he has absolutely busted me on the Asia server multiple times. It's great to see these unicums. Sugar and Mugu, renowned actually. Sugar and Mugu and FT Silver were some of the were some of the light tank legends at the last cup. Lisa, very, very good tanker. All these guys are just absolutely brilliant, guys and gals, wonderful players. And Risk is Nitroglycerin, one of the most storied clans we're going to see. So we've got a lot of history here with these tanks. Schmert Potato, a lot of the history here with these tankers. Risk coming out of Feast, of course. Feast featured in the in some of the offline tournaments in Minsk. And I'll never forget Maddox, who was in Feast at the time, getting off the plane, lost his luggage, and it was snowing. There was snow on the ground, and he's come all the way from Canberra in a T-shirt and shorts, no luggage, jumps out, and is just wandering around in like 0 degree temperature. It was, hell of a bunch of tankers. Let's get them in here.
How was your luggage, Bushka?
My luggage was fine. It got lost this time. That's true. Luggage got lost this time. That's fine. We got it back. I was all right. I lived through it.
Tournament curse.
It is a bit of a curse, isn't it?
You will lose your luggage.
The travel bug.
If you come here to the Blitz tournaments. Okay, so best of luck to the teams, and of course, let's invite our honorable, lovely analytic to the studio, Jack. Hello.
G'day, Jack. How you doing, buddy? Oh.
No.
Can't hear him at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we can just use our fingers. Okay, let's check the sound with Jack Waldman's helper. And currently, let's come back to the teams. Uprising and Rotanova. Uprising, Team ID, of course. I know them as Team ID, not as Uprising.
Yeah, Uprising. Well, they've got to give them a catchy rebrand, don't they? Because they do have some new members.
Right.
I watched the tournament streams that Wild One's helper had on for this, and his excellent streams. You should check it out if you haven't already. Does a lot of great graphics on the tournaments and such. And both these teams did exceptionally well in their opening brackets in the top four. One was a 4-1 win for Risk. The other one was a 4-0 win against GV, I believe it was, for Team ID. So when they met up, Risk and ID, I really thought they were going to be neck and neck. And ID were like well ahead in a couple of the early games, but ended up getting absolutely pounced. Rotanova were the same. They looked like they were well ahead in the early games and got belted as well. So I feel like despite the fact that the scorecards were quite, there was a big gap in them. There was a lot of 4-zips and 4-1s. The actual games were a lot closer, and they could have gone either way with a couple of shots hit by one team or the other. So I think this will probably be a little closer than our North American finals, with Jokers just dominating there. But it will be, worth waiting and seeing. But I'm expecting big things. Hopefully a 9-gamer.
Last time Asia showed us.
Yeah.
Who's the boss here?
Last time Asia went absolutely berserk.
Aria.
We had nothing but tiebreakers and fightbacks, and oh wow, it was, a highlight for me.
Yeah. So Jack, let's come back to the studio because I know that now you have the sound.
We're back. I'm
back. There's that beautiful voice. G'day, mate.
I can hear me. Good. Yeah. Yesterday was amazing to watch. Risk and Risk really did fantastically in the upper bracket first round and upper bracket finals. So I'm really excited to see how they play in the grand final. And obviously RN beating GB in the lower bracket first round. Those games are very good as well. So lots to expect.
Lots to expect. Okay, should we expect the aggressive gameplay? Almost strategies, more tactics, more staying accurate.
Well, I did some notes to how the teams play.
I know,
so
you're amazing analytics. You're always prepared.
So I mean, we're looking at ID versus RN, and I would expect something similar to Risk versus RN yesterday, whereby Risk was kind of the more tactical team, and I think ID will fill in that shoe quite well. I think they would do something quite tactical, and they are really good with positioning, so I expect them to take some really good positions to kind of smother RN, as RN, they are known for their aggressiveness, and they have really good teamwork, and they have good individual skills as well. So it's going to be an interesting match to watch.
Okay. We hope that it's going to be an interesting match to watch. What are your expectations from the first match of today's finals?
Right,
Who will
so
play against our Risk?
Oh, this is going to be hard to call. I think RN struggled with strategies yesterday against Risk, but they did really well against GV with kind of their focus fire communication. So I believe we haven't seen the best of RN yet against Risk. So I think RN could be a wild card here, but ID absolutely, of course, Risk versus ID. I think ID would want to kind of forget what happened there and bring on that level of expertise as they did against GB. So I don't know. I think we could see something new here.
And should we expect some kind of surprises? For example, 7 Death Star on the battlefield?
No.
Okay, so classic professional gameplay.
Well,
Yes,
I
I
mean,
think
they ran a Badger yesterday. Like, we didn't see any of that on the North American finals.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of money's on the line, so I think what they would do, they would put up their best strats on the table.
Okay, so
Do you think they held anything back yesterday, Jack? Because there was a couple of games there right at the start where Risk really looked like they were behind, but they're very good at counterpunching. It just felt like maybe ID weren't giving it everything in terms of strats.
Yeah, I think so. I think the kind of the scoreline we are seeing here, like for example, RN against Risk and ID versus Risk, I do think they haven't given their all yet. I think we would see even better stuff from them.
Yeah, I got that feeling too. There was a couple of games which I heard you talking about that. They were very, very much conservative in places where I think they would have been a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, and I'm a bit worried about Risk because it seems that they have thrown everything onto the table already yesterday. So I'm not sure if teams have worked out a counter already, but I think they're running in danger of throwing too much onto the table.
The strat they showed on Middleburg was pretty... I was surprised they did that. They absolutely pounded on Middleburg with the lights. And it was it was an absolute stomping. But I was like, wow, do you really want to bring that out now? Like, that was...
maybe they have no choice.
Yeah. Risk looks so dominant yesterday, so we will see.
Yeah.
Okay, Risk, and let's wish best of luck to the teams, and thank you, Jack, and we'll see you after the first match to discuss how it was. Enjoy the battles.
See ya.
Okay, so let's check what should we expect today, and I'm talking about pick a bands.
Pick band, baby. Let's have a look. Sorry, get too excited. It's nearly time to call the teams. Oasis Palms, Rockfield, Alpenstadt, Dynasty's Pearl, Yukon Faust, and Middleburg as the decider. That'll be the first time we've seen that as the tiebreaker today if we get there so far this series. Oasis Palms, wow, okay. Rockfield's been a staple. Alpenstadt, Dynasty's Pearl. Dynasty's Pearl has just been all heavies. Obviously, there's not a lot of vision there. Faust we've seen. None of this is new stuff, but Oasis Palms, we haven't seen a heap of Oasis Palms. Great map, going to be interesting. We saw a lot of Desert Sands yesterday. They did do quite a few Oasis Palms games on the Asia finals there. In fact, the last game I think that ID lost in the upper bracket final was, if I'm not, I think it was Oasis Palms, and they did a run down the middle channel there that went a little bit awry with a couple of bat chats. So we'll see how that goes. This is very much same old, same old. Well, I'd love to see a Vineyards game or a or a ghost factory, just something really weird. As long as there's no lagoon, I'm happy.
No spoilers, but Ghost Factory was picked by one of the teams. Maybe we'll see it depending on the first match, of course.
Fingers crossed. You never know your luck in the big city.
Yeah. Okay, so Rotanova versus Team ID. Again, classic duet.
Yeah. And it's really cool for me because I play against these guys all the time. These are the people who basically hand me my lunch on the APAC server. They built me.
Okay, so by the way, these nice avatars are available for the APAC server players. You can install them and support your favorite team even after the tournament, after the finals. Maybe not to support, but to congratulate, or maybe to support. Up to you. So anyway, find these beautiful avatars in your game. Teams are almost ready, so let's check the first Oasis Palms map and let's get it started.
Here we go, Oasis Palms. One of the longest serving maps in Blitz. A real division of labour here with a very clearly defined left, medium, or not left, medium flank, light flank, and a very clearly defined heavy route. And the heavy route's the one that you want to really control with two caps. You've got the light flank has, well, there's a cap out there in the desert. It's very easy to get to, but once you've got that and you've only got the one cap, the B cap in the middle, tough to get a hold of. But I've seen it done quite a few times. Here we go. We're going to have some bat chats. Now, this was the ID strat. They had multiple bat chats in the final series. Monk and Zonk running the bat chats, a bunch of IS-7s, and an FV215B Octopus gig as well. Kujo Jotaro in the 215B, as is the Maria. Iron Bread Tank, they're loving it. Ploy Kickshaw in the Kranwagen. And one T100, that's light tank, that is Wadu. You can see Kujo Jotaro already taking a hit there. They've gone the flank. Now, this is what we talked about. Or by we, I mean me, the Royal We. They're double capping, triple capping B. That's a huge call for ID. We heard Jack say in the earlier going that they're a little bit more tactical ID. Wow, Zonk is getting absolutely flogged at the back. Wadu doing a great job getting vision on the two Batchats who are now stuck in a hole at spawn. That has got to be something that someone like Rotenova as a clan want to go and exploit. You know they are not going to wait for the paint to dry. Look at them lining up for a run down here into the red spawn. Monk's managed to get out. He had enough hit points, but Zonk, I wouldn't want to put money on how long he's going to be in this game for. They have set a trap though. Look at ID rotating back through. Tungsten shells have been dropped. Adrenaline has been dropped. Pasht they're running the reactive armor, and Kujo Jotaro and the Murray armor have absolutely stalled out and have found themselves going from being the hunters to being the hunted as the IS-7s come swooping like sharks right down into the gully. Kujo Jotaro is going out backwards. 91 hit points. Won't be 91 for long. They've got to get a clear here through though. Pasht does the business, gets through, gets knocked though. They have taken Kujo Jotaro out. This is looking very nice now for Rotenova. This has been counterpunch, 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 and they are ripping into ID. This is what they do best, 5v4. The whole game has swung around the pendulum that is the ID spawn, dripping with finesse from ID and the Octopus, trying to get up there out of the gun line. I Am Bread Tank is having absolutely none of it. He wants those headshots in the side. 644, massive roll. Monk desperately fleeing from Wadu, who is right on his hammer in the T100 LT. He's on a reload. He's on nothing in terms of hit points, 65. Can he get it done? Oh, no such luck. Here's the only one left here. What a typical Asia server opener. No time wasted in getting into the all-in brawl that is the APAC trademark. ID tried to play tactically. They tried to set things up, and Rotenova just came running down the alleyway, waving their arms, screaming, "Let's have a pitch." Bang! Love it. Can't get enough. Oh, that's tanking.
Warmed
That
up a
is
little
tanking.
bit. Okay.
Wow, what an opener. None of this waiting in the back, like seeing what's going to go. ID set the trap. Rotenova took the bait between their teeth and just kept chewing.
Yeah.
How much can you chew? They can chew an awful lot. That's what they do best.
Okay,
Oh,
that was the map picked by Rotanova. They were prepared.
yeah, were they ever? ID did so well, triple capping that B. You can see there's a line of IS-7s going down there, and the IS-7, super popular at the moment because it's so strong armor profile and mobility-wise right now. And then it just became a brawl, and we know there is one thing Rotanova does better than anyone, and that is make trades in brawls. That is exactly what they want to do. They want to get in there and turn it into just broken up tanks where not missing shots and getting 2v3s going on. So beautiful. We heard 34 talk about it the other day when he was doing his analytics for the North American finals. How you want to be on the outside. You always want to have your guns on the outside because then you only have to cover one direction when you're brawling. Rotanova, that's an abject lesson right there for ID. Be interesting to see how they pop back from that one because that was really good tanking.
Absolutely. Let's check what is the answer from Team ID on the Rockfield map, because that was exactly their pick.
Yeah, Rockfield. Well, this is an absolutely beautiful map again for some light tank vision. We're seeing a lot of maps with lots of big open spaces where they can get from one side to the other very clearly, very quickly. We saw Rotanova in last season's finals go through the top deck there and devastate a bunch of people around that ACAP. We'll be looking for some more of that. ID, so strong. Jack called him a wild card in the pre-game analytics, and he's not wrong. When they're on their best, they are so difficult to handle. There's such a handful. Monk from ID, rolling forward in the bat chat. Had a good game last game, was just unlucky. As the heavies went down, he just got singled out and pushed and ferociously charged at by the T100 LT. Ploy Kickshaw in the final lead-up just kept getting focused and killed every single time. So he's absolutely happy days to have gone through that one as a winner. Zonk, 215B Octopus, look at Monk, looking to get vision. Now, they're going to know he's there. Every chance they blind shot that bush, and they do. And Monk is not mucking around. He's getting the hell out of there. He knows that that Iron Fist is going low. Rotanova with a 7-tank stack behind the C-cap. Getting low and heavy down that inside rail. They're setting up for it. Now, ID have set up for this. They know it's coming. You can see them rotating away. They are flowing nicely away through the 1 and the 2 mark there in the blue spawn. I'll be interested to see whether they counter push here or if they just try and set something up. They've got the DPM of the Chieftain there. That is Strashny. I've absolutely butchered the... Oh, Pashtyet has been caught crossing, and that he's gone. He's gone. ID, devastating early blow. Pashtyet just a little bit slow out of that spawn area, and they've copped it. Now that's a 6v7. Huge blow this early in the game, dripping with finesse. You know Rotanova won't ask the question twice. They're coming for him. Ploy Kickshaw, we called it early. He's gone again. That is the return of serve, dripping with finesse. He's going to go 2. That'll be 2-1. And then it's going to be Strashny at the top in the Chieftain Mark 6. They've picked him out next. Monk in the bat chat. He's on full clip now. He's dropped 1. He's dropped 2. He's going to drop a 3rd and on a full reload. They don't care. They are just trading. Look at the Chieftain. Desperately looking for shots into Trash. Trash getting ammo racked early in the VK72 yesterday. He's not getting ammo racked there. Oh, he's gone though. Unfortunately for Trash, the kiss of commentator's curse. Zonk from ID. The mouse, the judgment. Stand up and play, baby. Campon is in real trouble. It's a 3v5. Rotanova have saved their best for last. They did not look this good in the upper bracket final. This is a devastating, not the upper bracket final, in the lower brackets. Cranvargen going as well. That's Kiz from ID. ID have to be scratching their heads. This was their map and they fumbled it. They absolutely had this one in the bag if they just ran their strats, and Rotanova gave them no space. All the pressure in the world. Monk's desperately looking for shots into Kujo Jotaro. Where is he? Where is he? There he is. Can he clear him? 866. That needed to go in. He can't clear him now, not with 2. Oh, and that's unfortunate. It's the tail of the game for Monk. And then they try and hesh him. He's the last one, and he's out. Well, ID came in here as the favourites. They lost the upper bracket final to Risk. They were the top-seeded team coming into this in terms of Rotenova and ID, and they are not looking like the favourites right now. 2-0 down. We expected Rotenova to be better than they were yesterday, but it's almost like they've got a bet on. They just wanted to finish as low as possible so they could get best odds, because they are looking strong right now.
Yeah, so the current score is 2-0.
Yeah.
Are they well prepared? They are.
They're not just well prepared. They're aggressive with it, like controlled aggression. You got to love it. I don't know what happened with Pashtiet there. He was crossing. You can see they were set up for this. They were set up for the push. This is their map. They called this. Look at all the crossfire they've got. But at this level, Pashtiet getting caught there, and he gets tracked. Beautiful tracking shots. And their IS-7s there at the back too. They are not good guns, but there's not much armor on the back of a 215B. And that tungsten shell running thing, oh my goodness. Poor old Ployd Quickshaw, he dies every game. He's just, it's almost like a guaranteed death taxes of Ployd Quickshaw getting nailed. Strashny, he was in trouble right from the get-go. As soon as Pashtiet went down, that flank was weak, he was isolated, and they had all their heavies stacked down that spawn line. I feel like little mistakes like that, you can't make them against a team this aggressive. And that's what pressure does. Pressure by Rotenova is everything to their gameplay.
I see how Jack is sitting making notes right now, like a teacher.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Yeah, he was spot on about Rotenova being the wild card. They have come good here.
Yeah. Okay, so the next map is Dynasty Spurl, and it was picked by Team ID.
Okay. Team ID need to win this. You can't give a team like Rotenova any kind of opportunity. If they don't get the oxygen out of them right now, they're going to just pound through this, because they're aggressive and they're confident, and that's how they play. They are not the strategic Risk ID kind of feel. They are the iron fist of tanking esports. This is what they're about. They just like to get in your face, and this is the kind of map that quite honestly will favour big, angry heavies. And that's 19,400 hit points for the ID crew. 19,000. You couldn't eat more pies. This is a huge team. VK 7201s. It's a meme. Iron Bread Tank in the IS-7 is like the light tank of the team. They are absolutely going to iron fist this. If you don't expect a brawl coming onto this no vision city map, you got it wrong. And they are already Kiz taking some of that HE shots. 186, 286. This is the problem when you're playing against these VKs. They're terrible from the side, but they've got that big alpha HE, and it can really hurt even when you don't give them penable parts. They're going for a double cap strat. I'd be surprised if this goes all the way through to a cap finish or a supremacy win. That's just not the style. Look at all the HE coming from these VKs. They're only little hits, but they are taking a toll. And if you let, that wasn't HE. 548 straight through the upper glacis, and they're doing their usual. They're rotating around through the back. You'll note Rotenova have not bothered to cap a thing. They're not capping anything. They're not interested. They're not going to finish this one with supremacy points. This is going to come down to a punch in the face contest again. The VK especially strong on that upper glacis and lower glacis. They're perfect for these corner fights here. Just peeking around, dropping the tungsten. Kujo Jatora, they don't have great sustained DPM, but when you're able to peek-a-boom like this, it doesn't really matter. Dripping with finesse. Double mouse here. The 215Bs on the right, you can see Kiz. They're going to come around that corner, and they are going to try and isolate the Murayama. Now, he's seen that, and he's pulled back. Fair play, but he's getting hit from everywhere. ID have invited him in. He's been very tough, very solid, but it's not going to be enough. He's on 576. Great hit point sharing there. Look at the teammates. Look at the blocking going on. Wasting the DPM of Dripping with finesse. And now they've somehow isolated Pash yet again. This is a glorious counter push by Rote Nova. They are low though. They've shared those hit points out to try and keep things going. And ID have taken as much as they possibly can. Hit points are even, but they are 2 guns up. They have to get the next kill here, ID, to be sure of this, because Iron Bread Tank is not going to go quietly. Kujo Jatora nearly reloaded. Oh, I think he's missed it. He's going to go out. Well done, ID. They read that like a book, but my goodness. Rote Nova came screaming down from the mountains and nearly stole that. ID were on the move, thankfully, and managed to envelop the flank again. Zonk, it just goes to show you don't need the hit points, you need the guns. Once you get the hit points parity, that's fine. But if you've got a couple of extra guns, you can really leverage that into making things happen. That was such an interesting little battle within a battle there where they gave all their hit points trying to keep the Murayama back on deck. And it was wonderful teamwork and great chemistry, but it really did screw up the whole battle plan there for Rote Nova. It dragged some tanks out of position. And ID doing their best, finally get the win. 2-1, we got a grand final.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Uprising. Okay, so well done. Well done. That was a beautiful battle, actually.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? That was there was a real flow to it. Like the positive and the negative, and you could see Murayama getting in trouble, and they were baited him out, and just great teamwork all around. Just better brawling from ID that time.
Absolutely. And I can say that taking 6 VKs was a mistake.
Yeah. 6 VKs.
That was a good choice.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
We've never seen so many of these super heavies, and I think it's a real indication that right now they are very, very, very good tanks. Like the VK, I mean, I just did a video on that tank, and the reason I did it was because it just feels incredible now. It feels so strong.
So change in meta is okay.
Yeah, a change in meta is the best. You've got to keep it fresh. Bit of variety, new updates, new tanks, makes the game interesting.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And I know that our esportsmen, they also support such kind of changes, balance changes in the game. So it's not like kind of buff or nerf for the certain vehicle, but the rebalance of the whole tier.
Yeah, it was a big patch, and it's been clear from the popularity of the German heavies that they're back, and that's good. It's nice to have the season of big pie-eating heavies. If we look at the top here, look at Kiz and the 215Bs. They don't have anywhere near the armor, and you can see how that DPM just starts grinding down these Rote Nova super heavies as they come around that corner. When you're in a situation like this, it's great to share the hit points, but I honestly think they may well have been better off just letting that VK72 of the Murayama go the way of the Dodo and regrouping on that corner. It cost them a lot keeping him alive.
4%. Don't first every time.
I mean, unless it's me in that tank, then I'm like, keep me alive. That's all that matters.
Okay, so the next map is going to be Alpine, and it was picked by Rote Nova. So, good luck to both teams.
Alpenstadt. This is, I believe, the map where Trash was ammo-racked in the VK7201 yesterday. There was an IS-7 ammo rack earlier. We haven't seen any ammo racks today, fingers crossed. We've seen an awful lot of IS-7s getting ammo racked lately. Great map. Again, the medium light flank is wonderful, but I don't know that it will be the deciding factor here. I think you're going to see a lot of heavies. ID will probably run a couple of lights. Yeah, Monk in the bat chat. And then a big bunch of heavies. The first VK9001P we've seen today, that's Pashjet, rolling on out. On the right for Rote Nova, Iron Bread Tank, Wadu, Uncrowned, all in IS-7s. Crane Bargains, the former meta tank. Now, there are some... Look at this. 4 heavies. I'm such an idiot. It's going to all be about town. Well, there's 4 heavies out at the A flank. Monk's done a really good job getting vision there, and he knows he's got to be very, very careful. There's an isolated tank there. That is Kiz from ID. Rote Nova are really, you can see on the mini-map at the bottom left, they're going to stack A. They're going to capture this point very, very quickly with 3 tanks in there. They're starting to push that early lead and then may actually keep pushing through here. ID, they're more flow. They are moving away from that. And we saw this on Rockfield, where they are actually moving back from that Rote Nova push. They want to trade distance for damage. They want Rote Nova to overextend. They want to find that tank. The problem is Rote Nova are so good at just trading their way through multiple tanks and not giving up a tank in return. Kids from ID, now they've spotted him there, they're going to have to make a decision. If they go down low for him, I believe they're going to eat an awful lot of damage. Uncrowned, Kujo Jatura's there. There is Strashny in the 215B Octopus. Wadu rolling around in the IS-7. Great camera work here from the driving boys. Face hugging for all he is worth. Trying to get behind that house and just isolate it, one tank. But this is 2-on-1 over here. A battle within a battle at the back of the map. And they are absolutely flogging him. Taking a big hit again. One down already for ID. Ploy Kickshaw and the Judge are low. But that is 2 down for ID. We are seeing Zonk desperately holding back. They have to find a target here. They've got to get rid of the Judge. 115 hit points. Judgment's gone. Judgment is gone. That was necessary. Dripping with finesse from ID. The 215B is just taking a belting. They're not able to keep that DPM in the game because there is so much hit points coming at them from those IS-7s. We are looking at a Rote Nova ride over. They are 4 tanks to 5 right now, 1 tank down, but the hit point pulls massively in favour of the boys and girls from Rote Nova. 3 tanks now, and Monk out there at the ACAP, I think he knows that that is probably a forlorn effort. You got to keep fighting though. Camp on. The captain needs a captain's knock. Pashjet's got all the hit points there in the heavy. They can't afford to have Camp on isolated. Pashjet is where it's at. They're going to recap C, Rote Nova are. They're taking that back, and they are still down on supremacy points, but that will absolutely go through the roof. 750, they're well away from any kind of sneak up and trade for 1 tank. Wadu going around the corner, proximity spotting Pashjet. Iron Bread tank in the IS-7. Those guys have dominated the back of the map there. Pashjet can't do anything about it. He's putting damage in. Oh, Monk! Monk's dropped a clip. If he could have got a high roll out of that, he might have been all right. They might have got rid of a tank. Pashjet gave all his hit points to give Monk that clip. Just didn't get enough done. Did his best. Did everything he could. He's going to try and get down there and get Wadu, but he's just going to bleed everywhere now. This is not the tank. Look at this. A little tank driving against big tank. Bye-bye, Monk. Unfortunate, but that's the way it goes. And the captain, Camp on at the back of the map. I don't know if they'll get him before the supremacy timer gets him done. Needs an ammo rack on the mouse. Aim for the back of the turret, buddy. I don't like your chances defending that last cap. And that is going to be a 3-1 leg up for Rote Nova. ID reeling here in this lower bracket final. Rote Nova on top of the world. Look, the dancing fools. They're just all about it. Oh, very excited. 9 humans all looking ready for action. Well, no smiles yet. Long way to go. They're going to win this one, and they're going to go all the way through and win the last. So,
that was it.
3-1.
That was it. 3-1. Oh, the next battle might be the last one. Do we want it? We don't.
No, we want to see ID fight back.
Absolutely, yeah.
ID, come on, guys.
Come on, guys.
Lift.
Yeah.
Lift.
We send you love, support to all over the world, because I know that you're from Korea, Australia, Japan, Malaysia. Yeah. Russia, yeah. So, wild mix.
Yeah, wild mix. It's a potent cocktail of tanking. If they can just get the numbers right, they'll get the job done. They're very, very close. Rote Nova are just so good at those pushes. They're focus firing and brawling.
Absolutely. But I still believe in Team ID. I know that they can do it. Because these guys are already fighting in the final day of our Blister Cup APAC region, so they can do it.
Well, yeah, they were in the upper bracket final to get through to the grand final, the guaranteed slot. So it's no accident. Just Rote Nova are coming good at the right end of the stick. If you look here, Monk's out there for ID. He's going to spot 2 tanks, so they know that Rote Nova is on the flank. I don't know how sneaky he can be in a mouse, but Kujo Jitora and the Murayama get all the way down that alleyway there. And this is where things are a problem for me. Poor old Strashny getting set on fire. The 215Bs that we keep seeing ID running are just getting monstered by IS7s and VKs. They are pushing them so fast and so hard that they're not really getting the opportunity to express their DPM. They're not getting that gun in the game for long enough. And that's what the IS-7 is built for. It's the assault tank. It's get it down through those low little berms, those slow areas, and drive it into those 215Bs. And it might not have the DPM of a 215B, but you saw there, they managed to get 2 tanks on the 215B that was in the ID spawn and didn't get punished for it. Like, that's 2 IS-7s. They've driven the map, they've gone into ID spawn, and they're just not getting hit. And that's really where they're coming apart.
Maybe Team IZ have something to show on the Faust map.
Come on, guys. Lift! Come on!
Let's go.
Yeah, we want to see
Faust. Kind of
Faust.
complicated map, but we'll see.
One of the best games we saw in the NA finals was on Faust. And I think it was a fight back from Origin against Jokers. This is a map where it's a little bit like Lagoon. I know it doesn't look it in an obvious way, but there's a lot of opportunities to get stuck like 5 meters away from a bunch of teammates, but they can't get to you and they can't help you. And in that sense, like Lagoon, it punishes mistakes very, very harshly. If you get caught out on Faust, you can get completely deleted very, very quickly. ID sticking with their 215Bs, they've got 3 of them. 2 IS-7s and Pashjet in a VK. Monk running the Bat Chatillon. Wadu in the Bat Chat. Good to see Wadu driving the light tank. He is such a lovely light tank driver. Monk and Wadu, some of the best in the business. Hopefully we'll get to see F Silver and Sugar and Mugu doing the same in the final against one of these lucky punters. A little more of a slow pace for ID, but you can see Rote Nova, they're immediately looking for map control. They rotate high through the top of that A-cap. I wonder if they will take the A-cap, because they're going to put a tank through A. I don't know if they're going to stop to take it. It's not really their style, but they are actually looking for supremacy points. Maybe this is the change-up fastball that Rote Nova are going to throw at ID as they actually start capping things out. ID have got 5 tanks capped behind A, in a line behind A. This is where we talk about you've got to be very, very careful with these pushes and counter pushes, because Rote Nova, I think, are anticipating this. They've got Drippin' with Finesse isolated there as he tries to climb up through the A-cap. Oh, look at this. That's got to be stomach-clenching stuff, or buttock-clenching stuff at least. The Murayama taking a big hit there. Down to 2200. Campon, Kiz, Strashny, Monk. Cometh the man, cometh the hour. Here comes Pashjet as well. Zonk at the back, all on his Pat Malone. Kujo Jitora is going to go out here. He is 100%. They needed that. Wadu dropping a clip in at the back there. Dripping with Finesse has managed to get right up the top of the A-cap hill without taking too much punishment. Campon's got to be careful. Iron Bread Tank in the IS-7 pumping with a big hit here. This is the counter punch, but Rote Nova are bleeding across the board. They've been slightly isolated. Wadu in big trouble. They've got to get rid of Wadu. That is the flexibility and mobility that is a real problem. They want to get rid of Wadu. They've left him on a smidgen of hit points. Monk from ID rotating back through, getting another clip. Murayama and Bread Tank stuck down the bottom of the map, and they need to get up there. Kiz pushing in but towards the back of Ploy Kickshaw. They're holding. He's holding. They're trying to isolate a tank. Here comes Monk. The clip's coming. No more worries, Ploy. I got what you need right here. Monk going high off the top turnbuckle. And this is more like the ID that we were hoping to see at the start of proceedings as they fight back firmly on a very fine Faust map to go 3-2 down in the lower bracket final. Superb drive. Excellent work. The counter punch through the back of A was perfect. And as we mentioned, or I mentioned at the start of this, Faust, 5 meters away, and you can be completely helpless. Once they went down the bottom, it is very, very hard. We all know it, even in public games. Getting up from the bottom of that ramp in a heavy tank with no gun depression like an IS-7, that is an awfully big ask. Look at Campon. Captain's knock there, 3,700, 3,200, 3,200. Plenty of big numbers there for ID. Well played. And we're going for another game, game 6.
Absolutely happy for Team ID. And as Bushka said, that's what we wanted to see.
Yeah, let's see more games from these two teams.
Yeah, congratulations. The current score is 2-3. And we're still hoping for the tiebreaker. And the next map we're going to see is Yukon.
Yukon. Well, I wonder what kind of a team lineup we're going to get here. Do we get a bunch of heavies, or are we going to see some flexibility? We did see, I think it was it was ID in the finals yesterday. Might have been Risk running multiple bat chats on, or multiple light tanks on Yukon. I love this play by ID. They leave Zonk all alone at the decap. Everyone shuffles up the top, and RN were ready to try and isolate a target. They had the VKs up. Once the VK, look at those tanks. VK-72s, IS-7s, you're not going to get them up that hill fast enough to be effective. And Monk is just having a whale of a time. Ploy kicked short, Campon ended up taking him out. But look at Monk here. Monk is screaming up there. He's like, hello, I got a full clip. It's just like he got to sit at the back and dictate terms. There's Campon. Little bit of gun depression off the back turret. Lovely work. Just that was more like the ID we expected. Tactical, little bit of Iron Fist, nice mix. Now Rote Nova. How do you respond?
Team ID, please. The next battle should be yours.
Let's go to Devon. These guys are great to watch.
Let's make it legendary, right?
I love APAC. APAC they don't muck around. They just have a fight. Yukon. Are we going to see any light tanks streaming out along that flank? The prime mover for this game is more than likely going to be the heavy route. We'll see a lot of people trying to set up crossfires here. We saw Risk lose the game here yesterday when they tried to get a little too special on the heavy flank instead of just dropping the hammer and pumping with the VKs. It can be very intimidating trying to cross behind the cap because there are so many opportunities to get hit in the flanks, and a lot of these tanks are big. You can see Rote Nova running 3 VKs there. First object 260 of the day, that's Iron Bread Tank, a very quick, very mobile heavy tank after the recent patch. Monk in a bat shat, the only light tank on the map. We'll see if he can turn that into pay dirt. We've got a couple of mouses there. So they're picking their tanks for their strats. Look at the size of these tanks. This is why it can be difficult. They're going to triple, quadruple cap that. They're going to get it up very, very quickly. Look at the light tank from ID. He is cruising around at the back. There's not a lot of tanks spotted yet. They've only got the 1 cap. Now, they have not put him into any caps yet. He's got to go and grab D. It's free money right now. And they need that second cap because Rote Nova are going an AC cap. How much damage could you do if you just had free shots into the flat sides of a VK and you're in a bat chat? Because that is what Monk is thinking right now. He's salivating at the prospect. The only problem is Rote Nova generally won't wait to ask the question. This is a decidedly slow Rote Nova move. They are all stacked up behind that A cap. You've got to feel that something's in the water. Something is coming. The Judgment holding there behind C. I know there's a reason for it. You can see someone is isolated at the back. There is a notification on the mini-map pointing to that sector. Rote Nova, it's all about timing now. They're going to come down this B cap. They're going to try and pump it, and they're going to do their level best. You can see this is it. This is what Rote Nova do. They've got 5 tanks lined up, and they are going to come screaming through here like the ocean at high tide. Campon better buckle up because they are not going to back off. These guys are looking to isolate 1 target. ID, Monk at the back. I don't know if you can see that. He's also getting flogged. Iron Bread Tank is already low, 981 in the object 260. He's the easiest target. Kiz, he's low. This is just a trade-off. This is just a heavyweight bout. Kujo Jatora Coming up hard there to Strashny. They've now put 3 on those 2, but Wadu is awfully low. Kiz has gone out in the 215B. They've got to make Wadu next. Campon's about to go. This is balanced on a knife edge. 2 tanks down, though, 1 tank each. Look at Drippin with Finesse and Campon. Either one of them's going to duck out. Trash is low. Rotnova are absolutely glorious at this brawling style. They just get in your face and they ruin your beautiful tactical crossfires. But ID, they don't know how to give up. They are fighting fire with fire here. You can see Monk is still screaming along in the background in the bat chat. He's dropping clips. Zonk is on 54 hit points. Can he get one more in? It's determination. It's not going to be enough. Now 4v3. What a beautiful fight back. But look at all the hit points. They're all with Rotnova. You've got to think Pashjet's in trouble. Strashny has to stand up. He is in a huge hit point tank there, the mouse. He's got to cop it. Monk's so important right now in the bat chat. He's got 1 left to give. Campon, super low. That's the captain. This is to stay alive. ID giving it absolutely everything. Strashny, he's got 3 tanks on him. Look at Kujo Jatora, 140,000 battles. He knows exactly what to do. They're grinding him down under. Monk has to do something here. Oh, he's still alive. Is that going to matter? 12 hit points. He's out. 812, 883. They're not going to get it done on the caps. Monk is running around. He's recapping. He's desperately trying to help. He's got hit points, but there are so many hit points on the board for Rotnova. They're grinding for Campon now. They know where he is. Campon is fleeing desperately. Monk capping, trying to turn the tide. 872 versus 910 now. They're going to have 3 caps. Come on. Can they do it? This is incredible. 3 caps to 1. But once they get Campon, that's 40 points. That'll put them at 960, and that'll be the end of it. Monk desperately fleeing. The judgment coming around the corner. He's got to grab that C. They're grabbing D back. This is everything, Campon. What does he do? Do they hold? Do they run? Rotnova are getting C as well. Monk has to do something. Kujo Jatora is right. Here comes Monk. He's going to make a play. He's going for Ploy Clickshaw in the cap. 962, 979. This is on the edge of a knife. The edge of a knife. No. I think Rotnova have got it. Oh, what an incredibly tense game. What a wonderful, aggressive game by Rotnova. Incredible stuff. They're pumped. Why wouldn't they be? They're going through to the grand final against Risk, and they earned it. That was a massive fight back from ID, and Monk was running around recapping everything. Campon, the captain, holding at the back, and it came down to a slither of supremacy points. Woo!
I'm so happy for these guys. Okay, so that was well-deserved victory by Rotnova. And we congratulate officially Team ID with the 3rd place in Blitz Stellar Cup APAC Finals. Great job, guys. That was a pleasure to watch you fight
Yeah, was it ever. Great games. APAC should be really excited that was the playoff to get into the grand final. That was great.
Okay, so now Rotnova is getting ready to fight against Risk in the 2nd match of today's tournament, and we're going to see, I hope, 9 battles.
Right. Look, I'll take all the battles of that you can give me. That was such an incredibly brave game from both teams. Rotnova just drove their tanks down into the ID spawn. ID knew they were coming. They set up for it, and they punched them in the face so hard. But then the rest of the Rotnova tanks got there, and they just brawled and brawled and brawled.
And brawled.
Oh, they're so good at it. Like, that is honestly, like, the way they trade is special. It really is.
Absolutely agree. So let's call Wildbones Holper to the studio. Jack, join us.
They called it. He called it. This kid called it.
We have something to discuss, right?
Yes, definitely. Hello again.
Luke?
Yeah, really, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, mate. Give us the lowdown. What'd you think?
Yeah, I think it was brilliant to see both teams here, but I think we kind of get a brief idea on how to counter RN as we speak. I think the games that ID won, they put themselves into good positions. They kind of wear down RN's push. They do not allow RN to isolate their tanks. Where the games that ID lost, it was RN that did really well in isolating tanks, and I think ID grew into the fight, but I think Yukon was just a bit of a topsy turvy situation for them.
Oh, yeah.
If it's the right term. Let's take a look at the first battle, which is RN versus ID. And RN got the initial lead here as they found the double match chance of Monk and Zong sitting in the southwestern corner, and they've been taken out very, very quickly. And ID wanted to make a counter push, but my problem with that is that they got too compact in the counter push, which allowed RN to kind of pincer them. And it was great focus fire from RN all around. Actually good initial tactic by ID to get B so early. I think they wanted to play for the caps, to play defensively, but RN was just too aggressive for them to handle. And of course, ID losing too many hit points with the match chance didn't help matters at all. And take a look at the second battle with ID versus RN again. RN with a great initial lead as they found Pastia and Zonk trying to relocate, and what they did really well here is they permatracked Pastia so that he cannot run away, and he got taken out so quickly, meant that the numerical advantage is firmly in favor of RN. And things just got horribly wrong from here. But then ID got quite shot quite quickly here. But then you would see in a couple of ID's losses, I think for this one, they probably spread themselves a bit too much so that they can't really quite connect with one another. And of course, there are a couple of bounces from ID, which really put the nail in the coffin for them. And again, really great focus fire from RN. Of course, I did good focus fire here too. And RN also shared the numbers really well, kind of good division of labor from our end, so to speak. And taking a look at the third battle of ID versus RN on this is a Dynasty's Pearl. RN again with a bit of an initial lead, but I think the problem is, as I said earlier, is that ID put themselves in really good positions to deny RN of a really good push. You can see those corridors kind of quite well covered, well concealed, making the push from RN a bit difficult. But for RN, I think they had a bit of an initial push, initial advantage before that push. And for me, if they can kind of sit this one out a little bit longer to wear down ID more, and of course with the tanks they're taking, they don't have a lot of DP, and I think RN could have taken that. Looking at the fourth battle on Alpine of RN versus ID, RN a bit odd to see them taking no light tanks, but it didn't matter in the end because I think what they did very well, again, isolated the tanks of ID. They were in all okay positions. I think the positions they were taking, they could deny RN of a push, they could crossfire them well, but they couldn't quite do that. And when RN decided to push on to sever the team, once again, ID probably a bit too spread out, and there was a bit of a disconnect with the teammates and making it quite difficult for them to focus fire. And of course, RN really good focus fire. And yeah, there were also a couple of bounces from ID in this battle as well. And I think the IS-7s, no, I think it was Song and Kiz, which overpeaked, which really allowed RN to punish them for that at the start. So going to the fifth battle on Faust, we're seeing ID versus RN. Really interesting one here. I think this is the best battle we've seen from ID tonight. As RN, I think they mistimed the push. A bit of a rare occasion for RN here. The VK72, I think, just pushed in a little bit too early, which allowed ID to focus down those two VKs very quickly. And the focus fire from both teams are really good. So the main difference here is just that initial lead from ID, which really puts a nail in the coffin for our end. And Bond coming in, taking out that ISM is really amazing to watch. So yeah, it's just really that initial advantage. Sometimes because these two teams are so strong, that initial advantage will become the most important factor in a battle. And going to the final battle here, ID versus RN on Yukon. And RN, again, ID were in good positions to deny RN for push, but RN just found those kind of eyes of the tank so well. Even in really kind of a 50-50 situation, they nailed it brilliantly. I think my problem with Ice, probably they kind of got a bit too comfortable with their positions, and then but it was really close with this in this brawl. The focus fire of both teams is brilliant again, and ID with a couple of bounces didn't really help their way, and I think ID could have won it in the end, to be fair. And we will go into that soon. Oh, we couldn't go into that. Yeah, what I was trying to say is that I think ID could have won it if Monk in that back chat coordinated with Campbell to kill that IS7. I think at that point they just only needed one kill, and they could have won it.
He could have clipped him out, absolutely.
Right. So anyway, they showed us beautiful battles, and it was really a pleasure to enjoy professional gameplay in Blitz Stellar Cup APAC final. So thank you so much, Team ID, and congratulations with the first place. Hope to see you in the next tournaments, of course. Okay, so Jack, the next match we're going to see is going to be between Risk and Rotanova. These teams already met each other on the battlefields. So what are your expectations here?
I'm going to expect something similar to what we saw of ID versus RN, except I think Risk's strats will be a lot more elaborate, and I think they will conserve their hit points a bit better, and I think they will give RN a much harder time in the push. But I think RN will continue to do what they're really good at, so I expect them to continue their aggression. But potentially we could see their softer side to kind of, throw Risk off, and then, sometimes unpredictability is the best tactic.
Yeah, I'd be impressed with them if they do show up a little bit more of that different styling, because they it works for them. But Risk are very good at taking your punch and just flowing away from it. They do very well in those situations.
The team is also quite young. Oh. The team is quite young. I'm just checking their average age, and it's 20-ish. Youngsters, with a great amount of battles fought, so experienced players.
Yeah, they sure are. I mean, they've been around here for a while with a lot of experience, but yeah, no, when you talk about age, it reminds me of Elif from NA, which, oh my god, the average age is really low, like below 20, if I remember.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. That's true. Okay, so Jack, should we make some predictions?
I think the past history favors Risk, especially this season. Like, they've beaten RN in the upper bracket first round 4-1, and I think back in the professionals tournament, they also beat them with a great margin as well, like 4-1. I think, if I remember correctly, my alien mind is not helping me here. But yeah, but this is kind of a repeat of the Blitz Summer Cup Grand Final. Again, both teams, Risk versus RN. Although RN won against Risk in the last season, I think Risk will come a lot more prepared. So I think we will see a tiebreaker because Risk versus GV in the winter season, I think also ended in a huge margin in favor of Risk. But the next season, GV came really close, but only lost. And although they lost 4-5, so I could see a 5-4 scoreline, and I would favor Risk a little bit more as they really grew into this tournament. They started off a bit shaky. I think they only qualified through the number of cups in the previous skill tournament, and they improved so much. So I think they will keep their upward trajectory. But RN, of course, they could definitely make a statement about this match.
Do you think we'll see as many 215Bs? I feel like running 215Bs against Rote Nova, it doesn't seem to do that
It doesn't work.
No.
It depends on the map. I think if with the undulation of maps, the 215Bs could work quite well. Of course, the DPM and I can't remember if they still have the reactive arm. I think they still do, but that's another quirk. Another quirk of the 215P. But RN does love their VK72s with their tungsten shell and the Ekchi shell, which could really unleash a lot of damage.
Actually, I don't think that I will see the tiebreaker in the final match, because Team Risk seems like to be stronger than Rote Nova.
Oh, big call. I mean, I wouldn't want to call anyone stronger than Rote Nova after that. They came in underdogs and absolutely smashed it. I hope we get 9. I hope we get the same kind of finals we've had between these guys.
Hoping
before.
for the best,
Yeah.
of course.
It was like the best last time. Let's do it again.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll see what's going to happen. We are playing best of 9, and of course we are hoping for 9 beautiful battles. Jack, thank you so much. We'll see you after the second match. Enjoy the battles and good luck.
See you, Jack.
See ya.
Okay, so Rote Nova versus Risk. Again, beautiful classic story. What should we expect? No one knows. Let's check the visit cards of these two beautiful teams just to know their names. Rote Nova.
Let's have a look at Rote Nova as we see the heroes of the hour. They were fantastic against ID. There is Uncrowned. And hats off to the graphics department, knocking it out of the park. I am Bread Tank. Wonderful work from all these guys. Off meeting 0 people is off meeting 0 people. Wadu, let Wadu be Wadu. I want to see more light tank driving, please. He's a wonderful light tank driver. As we get through into the captain, I think we're up to captain by captain at the end of it. There's Kujo Jotaro, 140,000 plus games of Blitz, and that is your grand finalists. NC Stargazer, and just an awful lot of very, very good tankers here. The Judgment, the big unit, the Judgment, sitting at the back in that last map in Yukon, but then came screaming through the middle. Here is Risk. Top of the table, they swept all before them to get right up into the grand final without having to go through that lower bracket. There's Pookie, the Pookster, as they like to call him. Mozzarella, very, very much de rigueur on the Asia server for belting up Bushka. There is Shugu and Mugu, superstar light driver at the end of the Summer Cup on Normandy. I think that map was him and this young amigo here, F Silver. Absolutely flogged it on Normandy in a couple of T100 LTs. Lisa Alisa, heavy tank de jour. Might see Lisa Alisa running an IS-7 or a Kranwagen Hagen Dagen. And nitroglycerin, a highly toxic compound when put together in the wrong doses. Explosive, some would say, like Schmert Potato. Loves a bit of explosive potato. And we're back with Risk v Rote Nova.
Risk and Rote Nova. Best of luck to both teams. The next match starts in pretty soon, so let's check the pick bands.
Here we go. Map time, map time. Are we going to get a little look at maybe Dynasty's Pearl, Oasis Palms again? Ghost Factory. Risk have chosen Ghost Factory. Yukon, Faust, Middleburg, Rockfield, Alpenstadt, and Hellas as a tiebreaker. Ghost Factory and Middleburg, I'm going to be most interested to see. Faust, we saw Rote Nova play that one and they got touched up by ID, so I wouldn't be surprised with Risk running that one. But Middleburg, Risk had a fantastic strat on Middleburg, which featured a lot of light tank stuff. And Oh, I don't know if I'd want to be taking them on Middleburg, but Rotenova obviously feel like is the where the advantage lies for them. Alpenstadt was great for Rotenova, we saw in the last game, as was Oasis Pans, and Yukon was the winning ticket for them to go up 4-2 on ID. So no real surprises there that those maps, unfortunately no Canal. I love Canal, both in public games and competitive. But very lucky to have a Ghost Factory. Nice maps. Nice pick, Ban.
Nice pick, but nice choice, of course. And Ghost Factory is always a challenge for our spectators because it's kind of complicated to fly via this ceiling of the fabric. So, well, they're professionals. They know how to do these things.
They sure do. They know how to do stuff.
Absolutely. I've decided to jump on our YouTube. Yeah, in the chat. You're asking how to get on YouTube. No way, guys. To receive keys for watching this stream, you need to proceed to the portal. How to do it is just jump into the game. In the game, you will find the Blitz Stellar Cup event. And in this Blitz Stellar Cup event here, 2 events. You need to pick Blitz Stellar Cup event, of course. Then you pick the stream. Big yellow button. And voila, you are redirected to the official portal where you can watch this stream. So, easy peasy. I believe in you guys. If you're still on YouTube, please jump into the game, find the links, log in on portal, and watch the stream and receive rewards. In case of any technical issues, you know what to do. Contact support and, of course, team will assist. So, some questions. Bushka, let's go in the chat. Yeah. So I saw some questions about the update, why the team are preparing for the next match. Let's share some news about the update. Update 10.4 is coming pretty soon. And if you play Blitz more than one day, you know that usually we release our updates on Wednesday. So does it mean that we are going to have update on Wednesday? Maybe, maybe. Yeah. And of course, in this update, we are going to release the very, very beautiful feature, I would say. It's 3 players in Platoon. But of course, this feature will be available only in fun game modes, because that's gonna be much troubles if we release this feature in randoms. What do you think?
Well, you wouldn't want to run into like 3 of the Rotenova guys in IS7s in randoms. They would absolutely be no beating it. It'd be a very, very tough ticket. And trust me, I play on APAC. It's tough enough when you run into 2 of them all the time. But yeah, I think 3-man platoons will be sensational. It'll be a lot of fun.
I hope so. Yeah, the only concern I have is how to play 3 players in platoon in skirmish when it's 5 versus 5.
That'll be very rough. You'd hate to lose, wouldn't you?
There will be some tournaments in skirmish game mode. But anyway, let's try, and if anything goes wrong, we always can fix it, and we can exclude skirmish from this beautiful feature. But I believe if you're talking about fun game modes, we want to have fun. The fun game modes, they don't affect your stats, so you don't need to worry about it. So just play, have fun, and do not worry about beautiful numbers in your stats. Do you worry about your stats?
No, not for a long time. Not for a long, long time.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. Like you get to the
You're
point where...
You're not from these kind of people?
No, well, I was. I worried about my stats back when I started making videos in like 2015.
Yeah.
But nowadays, I just run around looking for content and having a good time. I don't really even worry about it. No. But I've got lots of mates that do, who re-roll their accounts and get their 70% purple win rate, and good on them. But, you know, you can only care about so many things in this world. You should just be playing for fun.
Absolutely true. I've just checked the comments again on YouTube. Like, I'm rooting for the teams, the anime avatar.
Yeah, why not? Go for it.
That's how you pick the team to root for. That's how it works. Beautiful, beautiful choice. So, teams are getting ready, and this is the kindly reminder about the European finals that we're going to have already on Friday and Saturday.
Oh, I'm in like 15 different time zones right now, so don't ask. I can't help you.
17th and 18th of November are the dates for our beautiful European finals. So there's gonna be really interesting who will meet each other on the European region, because Europe is all the time it's about some beautiful gameplay.
Yeah, Europe is very much the beautiful game. Like, there's a lot more finesse in the European game, and they've done very well on the world stage whenever there's been offlines. Europe's really been strong, and the teams are absolutely sensational in terms of technical game. But I love that there is such a different meta across all three of these finals. The NA finals is generally very slow and conservative, and not so much this year, but and then you get Asia, which is just punch each other in really weird ways in different weird maps and strats. And then you run into the EU finals, which are like precise and almost synchronized ballet-like. It's beautiful to see that there's so many different ways to play the game. I can't wait till we get to have a world finals again, like where we get everyone in the same building. That'd be great.
Yeah, it's like a beautiful traveling through rivers, mountains, some desert sands.
Yeah.
Whose gameplay is closer to your mind?
I'm a lot more passive than the rest of the Asia server. I am very much, I love playing light tanks and medium tanks. I love the 62A. I'm an old school fella like that. And I like putting it in positions where I can farm up the big heavies and that. But I don't do a lot of heavy tank driving. I love light stuff. T100 LTs, Batchats, 62As. Yeah, I'm a lot slower.
That's beautiful that we have choice how to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we have a beautiful video for you, by the way, guys. It's the interview with the captains, and it's a nice way to meet these tanks, these people behind the tanks. Yeah, so let's check it out. Let's see our champions, and let's know how they're doing.
So Risk is generally more of a slow, tactical and considered team.
Our team core strategy is aggressive.
Well, we try to all make sure that we're all on the same page, we have good chemistry, so we can all make the same rotations to achieve the best result.
The team closely follows the meta, and he studies the enemy team very well. So he watches the streams and the replays and stuff. Aggressive and Amarak.
Chaotic, unexpected, and fun.
Tactical, considered, and probably patient's a good word to describe it.
Rush and rush and rush.
Probably in the professionals tournament versus RN, we played WZ 113 GFT. We had two of them, and it wasn't looking too good for us, but we managed to pull it back at the end.
Over the course of my career, I won 2021 spring season, and the tiebreaker of the grand final was probably the most memorable match for me because emotions were running high. Everyone was very stressed, didn't know what was going to happen. So,
for this pair in the finals of last season, the biggest turning point, I think, is the match for this top four between GB and Cross. And he got very lucky that the time ran out and he didn't get killed. It was like 2 seconds only.
Again, I'm not team captain, so as one of the more vocal players in the voice chat, I just got to remind ourselves that we do have the potential to win. Trust themselves, trust their gameplay, and really focus, and we can get the win.
Usually we all just go back to the basics, look at what we need to do, what went wrong in the last game, just forget about that, just focus on the next one.
Ask them to calm down and suggest a simple improvement. He uses the Berlin's pep talk. He basically tells his team that this match will be the very last match that his team will ever play in Blitz, and that makes them motivated to do their best.
The biggest challenge was probably the language barriers we have, because we have a team with, I think, 7 different nationalities, but we managed to gel after training together for a while.
Last summer season, in the grand final with Risk, our tactic quicker enemy team is okay. Strike, switch body.
A couple cheeky drinks just to relax myself, get myself in the mood for G games, and
clear our minds, go into the game ready for the next match. Just look at what we need to do, and then don't worry about what happened before.
Trước khi bắt đầu trận đấu thì before every game, every member of the team will take deep breaths and count from 1 to 10 slowly.
Don't really have a big joker in the team. Easy, always raging at his pub matches and going off at his teammates for doing silly things. So
Underscore KYZ likes to lose all his hit points a lot, so does funny things that make us all laugh.
Mr. World or body, so when funny moment was critical to enemy armor, so enemy scene. So
He's Doha, and he likes to do some unintelligent things like blocking teammates and blocking his teammates from shooting the enemy and going out in the open and stuff.
Well, the whole thing being based around using tanks and that, there's not really any other major esports.
around the aggressive tactics is useful around the world.
the meta always changes with the balance updates. Tanks become good, tanks become bad. It's always dynamic and really different and fun each season. So that's
Good sleep and good eating food. No stress in life.
yeah, mentally I kind of just want to think about the game, think about the maps, what tank I'm playing, what role I'm going to be fulfilling in that.
Mentally, would just clear my mind, just playing random battles just to get warmed up and all that.
There are often disagreements and differing points of view, which are good because it gets everyone thinking in different ways. You kind of got to listen to everyone and acknowledge their points of view. Because everyone's got something to contribute and it's always helpful.
Meeting is the main from
Usually, like, just straight up to the point. If you're the one who messed up, people are going to tell you about it. There's no sugarcoating it. Like, you're at the highest level, you've got to make sure that you know what you're doing is right, and if you make a mistake, you own it.
Spider-Man would best represent that as he's kind of more delicate, cool, and
Hulk, muscle and aggressive. Iron Man best represent the team because we always lose at the start, but we can come out to it at the end. And that's why Iron Man is the best representation.
You know what's the best about this interview? Now I know that these teams, they can teach yoga.
Yeah,
If
they
not
have
Blitz.
10 deep breaths before every battle.
Stretching, breathing, psychology, motivation, everything, guys. Oh, that's a professionals. Okay, so best of luck to teams. They're ready to start the final match of Blitz Stellar Cup. We wish best of luck, and the current score is surprise.
Nil-all.
And Rotanova versus Risk. We're playing best of 9. The first map is going to be Dynasty's Pearl.
Dynasty's Pearl, the pearl in the heavy tank repertoire of Blitz. There is a lot to be said for having a lot of hit points and a very big gun. And that's the kind of gameplay that we've generally seen here. It would be a brave team that would run some lighter tanks against Rotanova on Dynasty's Pearl. But if there was a team that was going to be a bit of a maverick, a bit of an extrovert, a bit of a wild card, then that would certainly be Risk. They've had some very odd team lineups over the years. Let's see what they're bringing for us. 215Bs, 2 IS7s, a mouse, and triple VK for Risk. So they are sticking with the tried and true approach of lots of heavies. A bat chat for Wadu from Rotanova, then a mouse and 4 VK72s and a VK90. These hit point numbers are obscene. We're looking at tanks with teams with over 19,000 hit points. Rotanova using Wadu there to grab that A cap very, very early. Obviously a quick hitting strat. They're going to get that cap and a slight lead. Now, around 800 hit points is the magic number when you have these caps that are so close together. That's when teams will try to push and clear a target or two. You get 40 points for a tank when you clear it. So that can cap you out and take you to 1,000 points in supremacy. I don't believe that we're going to see a whole lot of that from Rotanova and from Rotanova and Risk. I just don't think it's going to get that far. Rotanova, unless they really change their stripes, are certainly going to be pushing and looking for trades. We can see Ploy Kickshaw up the top in the competitive series. We didn't have a whole lot of Ploy Kickshaw. He died early on quite a bit. He was the unlucky recipient of a lot of focus fire in the battles that I saw, but he looks to be in a very nice spot right now. Wadu's gone all the way back to the spawn there for Rote Nova. Got great vision. The Batchat, with its beautiful combination of extreme view range and excellent camouflage, is able to get those shots in. You see Wadu is firing there, and he is not even spotted. He is so far back behind that spawn line, he's able to both fire and spot targets through that C-cap. So that's a little bit of a bleed there for Shugu and Mugu in the VK7201K. We've seen Shugu and F Silver run an awful lot of light tanks. Not so on this map. It is going to be, the impetus for doing something here is going to be on risk. I don't see how they grab another cap. No one's going to get that B cap without absolutely paying a huge price for it, and they can't afford to do that. Wadu's starting to go down here. He's put the speed boost on. F Silver is around that corner. Oh, he gets away with it. Wow. Wadu just tipped his toes in the ocean and went, "Nup, too cold for me. I'm going back to the beach." Very close. Very close. Wadu just got great vision down there. Shugun Mugu is not doing much there. Nitroglycerin taking a tap. You can see Rote Nova starting to get a very connected line across behind A. I don't know what Risk is going to do here. I don't know what their plan is. I mean, obviously, they've got to get an extra little bit somewhere. They are 15 points behind on Supremacy. We talked about 800 being the magic number. Look at Bifrost. He's trying to disengage there. He's going through the back and around that fountain, the low-slung IS-7, able to do that without drawing too much fire because it has obviously got such a strong turret. Wadu has gone, look, someone put some reins on this kid. He's now swapped all the way through to the other spawn. Unfortunately, he's found Pookie in a 215B. Now, are they going to be able to make something of that? 215Bs were born to rip Batchats. Pookie deciding discretion being the better part of valor. They're baiting, though. Are they going to push across to try and hit Pookie? Because there are a bunch of Risk tanks looking down there. They're going to isolate Wadu. Wadu's in big trouble. He's got to go past. Pookie says no. Get wrecked. And that is a huge change. That's now 820 for Risk, 815 for Rote Nova. Shugu and Mugu's in massive trouble. He's going to get troubled. The Judgment and Co are coming down there. They will rip into him. But while that's happening, Elisa is burning. Wow, that was a massive tonk for Elisa. Big hit point advantage for Rote Nova. But Kujo Jatoro, massive hits in the side from Pookie, who's been a little bit of a folk hero in the 215B. That finishes Kujo. They've got an extra tank, but I'd say Elisa is going to go out very, very shortly, and that's the Supremacy win. Wow. They got it on Supremacy. Wow. That was wild. Absolutely wild.
Congratulations, Rote Nova. The first point in these finals is yours. Well deserved.
Yeah. We talked about that.
What a massive gameplay we just saw.
Yeah, well, that was a completely different game style.
Right.
And we talked about them needing to be able to play a different game style, and they did. They played a Supremacy game style there. Every other game has gone nowhere near it. Like, they've just smashed it. They won the last one versus ID with the Supremacy hit, but it was after a huge all-in brawl. There were so many tanks. That is not Rote Nova tanking. That is a great hat tip to them that they were able to change it up so cleanly and walk away with a win there. I thought they were done. I thought they were going to lose.
Now they don't have any chance for a mistake. No. That's why maybe they're not practicing this aggressive gameplay and they prefer to use strategies and tactics. Yeah, and as Bushka said, they played Supremacy style of gameplay and they won according to Supremacy points. So
I was so caught up in it. I really didn't expect them to get away with it, but they did. Wadu went down very, very easy. He was all over the place. He was one spawn to the next. They read that beautifully. Pookie snapped him up and then didn't bite on the push. He didn't come back all the way through. They lined up some tanks. They cleared Wadu. They cleared Kujo Jotaro. But at the same time, Sugar and Mugu and co were going down, and Lisa was getting... Elisa burnt massively. There was I didn't see it on the camera, but you could see the hit points ticking down. It must have been brutal sitting in that tank, just bleeding away. Wadu, the Batchat, running a Batchat, they gave up about 1,000 hit points at the top of the screen there, you can see. But that Batchat got them that early cap, and that let them dictate terms. Here's Wadu trying to get away. Pookie says, no, thank you. And if you look on the left of your screen, Lisa on 402, I think that could be where the trouble was. They got very non-combative with Lisa, and they couldn't get into those caps, and that cost them.
Well, as a spam, since the next map we're going to see in this hotter match again.
Well, Rotenova love this map. They have done very well on this map. It's been one of their most successful maps. I would be surprised if Risk wasn't watching the earlier games with ID. They'd have to have an inkling. Unless Rotenova have some kind of genius strategy, Risk are going to be prepped. They're going to have a good idea. They're going to go that heavy route, and they're going to basically make Rotenova earn this one. Rotenova are all about it. Here we go. Rotenova running a Batchat there, and the rest of it is your typical heavy loadout. We've got F Silver in the Batchat for Risk, the hero of a big tie-breaking game between these two teams. IS7B Frost, that's a brave move. Rotenova, they've changed it up. They've absolutely changed it up. They have decided that this is strat number 2, and they are not going through the C-cap. Now, that must have been pretty clear, I'd say, from the tank makeup compared to last time, but they're not playing against 2 Batchats, so that may well have influenced their decision-making. F Silver in the Batchat, getting great vision across there. Everyone's spotted there from that Rotenova flank, so they know where they are, they know where they're coming, but that doesn't really help you with Rotenova. They don't really seem to mind that if you know they're coming. They're going to sneak that A-cap. Now, this is a very strong move. Trash has already taken a little bit of a touch there, but to be able to, great shots across in the VK, just using HE. That gun's so devastating with its big HE rolls. Bleeding across the board there, but Risk sharing the hit points out. Still, it's Rotenova looking much the stronger here. They are going to lose C-cap, though. That's to be expected. You can't get all the caps. Wadu and Ploy Kickshaw in the Kranwagen trying to reset. Lovely work there. That is a little bit of a double bluff. The Batchat of F Silver was the one capping on the right but wasn't firing, and the heavy with him was actually drawing fire. Now, F Silver's rotating real wide here. Wadu in the Batchat is the counter, and they've got Ploy Kickshaw all the way at the back. There's a TD there. Now, this is the first TD we've seen. This is the WZ113G FT. We saw them talking about that earlier in the captain's interviews. They are bringing that through the C-cap. Now, that is being awfully aggressive with a tank that is not renowned for its camouflage profile. But if they can get that thing out in the desert, pumping across, they can do some big, big things. 45 points down. 4 minutes 56 to go. Plenty of time. No need there. There you go. Look at that. That is that WZ. That's what we're talking about. Trash is like, what the hell just hit me from out in the desert? It was like a thunderbolt fell from the sky, and Pookie's not spotted. He's going to make hay out there, and that is really going to influence the way Rotenova play this map. You can't just push across there. Well, it's Rotenova. I mean, you don't want to say can't to these kids. The paint won't have time to dry on the sign. Wadu, very stationary, very careful, just waiting. No need to do anything. This is a very different Rotenova team to the team that played ID. They understand you can't just take risk like that. They will gobble you up. Ploy Kickshaw's moved out in the Kranwagen. Sugar and Mugu, the only member of Risk spotted right now, and you've got to feel like they expect him to remain spotted. He's playing a very, very nice role at the back there, constantly respotting those Rotenova heavies, stopping them from pushing. The real trap here is for B-Frost. B-Frost is going down. and pushing towards the spawn. He's got support from both Pookie in the big WZ, and Bifrost is going to have a crack at point. The Kickshaw, the Kranwagen's going to dump, but Bifrost is running the big shells, the tungstens, and the adrenaline, and Ploy is on a huge reload. Great move there. They gave up nothing to take Ploy Kickshaw. There's still plenty back here. Here comes the Rote Nova Brawl. This is what they're going to do. Sugar and Mugu. Oh, he's missed a great shot into Iron Bread Tank. Unfortunate that. Hopefully it won't count. But Wadu is screaming in now. Lisa Elisa super low. They've isolated again on Lisa Elisa. Bifrost needs to get that gun back in the game. The WZ's coming back through the B-cap area. This is a tale of two battles. One tank down for Risk. Nitroglycerin is not long for this world, but Wadu has capped out Kujo Jotaro. He doesn't have to worry about Wadu for another 10 seconds, but in a second it's not going to matter. Wadu's going to bump him. Nitro's going. He's gone. He didn't waste a shot on it. Kujo Jotaro did. He's coming up here to give it to Sugar and Mugu. Great fight back from Rote Nova. Sugar and Mugu has been sensational at the back, but the bat chat's about to clip out, and we're going to see the end of Sugar. It's going to be a 4v5. There's a lot of hit points on the table, though. They're finally getting F Silver back in order. He's running. They're chasing. Bifrost. Trash is desperate to get shots into F Silver. He's left him. Schmert Potatoes doubling down at the back of the map. You can see the cap points are counting. 890. They got another one back. 3v5. They've got to get the Murayama. He has to go. He does. 960. They're hanging on for grim death here. 30 points away from tying it at 1-1. Smirt Potato, they're desperately, if they get Cujo, it's done and dusted, and it is. What a fight back. What a game. What a grand final. These kids can play. And look at those little Mickey Mouse ears. What a wonderful human being. Great work. 1,000 points. 1-1. Whew. That is absolutely top shelf tanking. You won't find a better game anywhere. That was gorgeous from both sides. The push, the counter push, the way Wadu didn't blow a shot because he was mobile and he could get up and dump a clip into Sugar and Mugu, and Kujo Jotaro sat at the back and cleared the tank of nitroglycerin so they could. That is such great teamwork and chemistry. 3.5K, 4,000 for Kujo Jotaro in a losing tilt. Double threes, Pookie in the WZ, just such great tanking, such great tankers. Look at this. Wadu goes out. He's on the C cap, doing the business. Risk very, very settled. They're comfortable. They're doing what they want. And it's good to remember here that this is Rote Nova's map. This is the map they wanted. They asked for this. And Risk just gobbled it up. This is what I'm talking about here. Wadu clips out nitroglycerin. He doesn't take the kill shot. He leaves it for Cujo and bumbles down the other end of the map and busts into, look at Sugar and Mugu. That's the mouse. He dumps the whole clip there. They don't clear that tank without him. And then you can see F Silver is balling out all the way on the other side of the map so that they can get the caps, and he doesn't get cleared. 985, 860. Wow. That is two teams playing at the absolute best. Wonderful tanking all across the board.
So true. So the current score is 1-1. Congratulations, great job, both teams, Rosenal and Risk. Oh, strong teams, okay.
Both against the serve too.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
They both picked the maps and then got beat on the map they picked. That's great gameplay.
What's going to happen on Ghost Factory? Will Risk take this battle? Because that was exactly their choice. We'll see. Ghost Factory.
Well, we don't know much about Ghost Factory and the way Risk are going to play it, but we do know that whatever we get, these teams are going to leave absolutely nothing in the tank. We are seeing two nail-biting finishes, incredible finishes from these guys, with just guns flying everywhere, people hiding, letting the cap circle go down, and it's a credit to both of them the way they play, that when the chips are down, they just rely on good, solid tanking, hit point sharing, focus firing. Sugar and Mugu, double bat chat. F Silver and Sugar and Mugu are back, baby. Don't call it a comeback. And then just 5 VKs. Let's just get more Germans in here. 17,000 hit points there for Risk. You can see that double bat chat. No such luxury on the Rote Nova side of things. They have gone for absolute domination in terms of hit point heavy hit points. 19,536, the most hit points we've seen so far today, I believe. The Iron Bread Tank in the 215B Octopus, that kid can really drive that thing. F Silver and Sugar Mugu, they grab that A cap and then they scuttle. They're not interested. Actually, quite an easy cap to reset to. They're going to go all the way back down and through, but that's a bit of a bait. I don't think they've got any real interest in it. They've left it. No one else is anywhere near that A cap, and they are rotating all the way back through. They've got C. I would suggest they may actually go and counter cap into D. C's not going to happen for anyone, but that A cap now to B, they've got a good, healthy lead on the supremacy points. That's why you run double bat chats. Now you just got to keep them alive because there is so many big tanks out there. Lots of VKs, 2,740 hit points is a lot. But have a look at the 4 mouses on Rote Nova. 3,021 hit points for each of them. And they copped a DPM increase in the last patch. So those mouses, they are a lot more effective than they've really been for an awfully long time. That's a second cap. And still not a shot fired in anger. No tanks were harmed in the making of this Supremacy Cap Fest thus far. Risk doing all the running. They have a very complex strat here. The double bat chats have rolled from one side of the map to the other. Recap D. I don't love how disconnected Risk are, but what do I know? I'm just the bloke yelling and screaming as a commentator because Rote Nova, they will ask the question. And the question will be, how much do you like to brawl? Because we really like to brawl. Here they come down the A cap. Risk are about to get into it. They've laid it. They've put a trap out. F Silver's going to dump a clip. Ploy Kickshaw. Why does poor old Ploy Kickshaw always end up being the bloke who gets absolutely rinsed at the start of this thing? They're doing well. Iron Bread Tanks through, but Kickshaw's going to go down. There's no way around it. Risk a masterful strat, but they've caught F Silver, and the bat chat is ever so scrumptious to the big heavy tanks. One tank down a piece. Risk, they had an early run there on Kickshaw and the Murayama, but now Rote Nova are countering beautifully. You can see Bifrost there at the top of the map. He's in trouble. Oh, they've absolutely smashed him. They couldn't get through Bifrost, and while that was happening, they've just encircled that push that came from the 215Bs down the A line, and just like that, it is a 2-tank advantage. And Pookie, nitroglycerin, Pookie's best mate right now. He is not going to give them anything. Here comes Lisa Elisa. This next reload could be the end of Wadu. Lisa Elisa aiming up the gun and releasing, unleashing Hell Maximus, uncrowned Pookie, Bifrost. They've been heroic here. This is an extremely measured result. 3 tanks left for Rote Nova. They've done well to fight back after an ill-fated excursion down that A tank line into the 1. And Pookie's still alive. You are kidding me. Nothing can kill that kid. He's ridiculous. Sugar and Mugu at the end here, taking on the captain, Kujo Jatora. We've all been the mouse in this situation. Would someone just break that light tank? And they're going to go out with a supremacy kick. Really impressive. That was absolutely fantastic. What they did there with the push, counter push, they took one cap all the way through to the other side and then laid a trap. They let the better judgment of Rote Nova. They knew what they were going to do. They were always going to be aggressive when they were behind on supremacy points, and they just lapped them up. Those 215Bs came down that line, and they didn't come back out. You might run down there, but you're limping back. Look at this. I mean, so many big heavies. So many big heavy tanks. And having that mobility from F Silver and Sugar and Mugu, F Silver got deleted here. They went for him. That was great. But these Murayama, Ploy Kickshaw, Iron Bread Tank, they went in that valley of death. It was all over for them. That mobility, that strat, great strat. You'd have to think there'd be some other teams watching that and thinking we might just adapt that one. That looks pretty good. That was their map. They chose it. They executed beautifully, and Risk is renowned for their execution. They're very, very good at running a strat, running it to death, and grinding people under with it. But Rote Nova are going to have an opportunity to strike back, and we're going to have to see how they go on the next map. That was decisive.
I liked that you noted the fact that the teams won the maps they choose.
Yeah, for
So,
once.
2-1 is the current score, and Risk just won the previous battle. The next one is going to be on the Yukon map, and seems like we should expect the victory from Rote Nova team.
Well, they did. They won this one to beat ID out and get into the finals. Look, I feel like that was another year from Risk that we haven't seen. And they've been playing superb games the first two games. But that game there from Risk was clearly a cut above everything else we've seen today. That was perfection. That really was. The way they played that, the way they chopped it off, they anticipated that push by Rote Nova. If that's how Risk are going to play the rest of the way, look out Rote Nova. If Rote Nova can come back and give us more of that gritty, brawling style that they so enjoy, then they can make a game of this again.
Okay, best of luck to the teams. Yukon is the next map. Let's feel these spring vibes and enjoy the battlefield.
Well, Yukon lends itself obviously to the heavy push. It's got a lot of very, very navigable areas here in the heavy flank, but I would expect Risk to run some light stuff, and it can be absolutely filthy if you get a light tank with sustained DPM on the side of these big VK7201s. Brave tanks, Rote Nova, very brave tankers. They only know one way to play, and that's straight down the line. I'd expect to see a big push through the heavy cap.
Teams are getting ready for the next battle, and Bushka, it's a long time I didn't see such passive gameplay on Asia.
Yeah.
I used to this aggressive pushes,
Yeah.
for these fast battles, for these victories in a few seconds. But right now they are playing strategies. Why so?
I think Rote Nova understand that they've been able to bully everyone else to get to the final. They can out-trade teams. They can just iron fist teams. But Risk are a different animal. You saw Rote Nova play a more passive style because Risk's set up and they don't let you out. And as soon as Rote Nova went back to their push style, Risk just gobbled them up. You've got to be able to play tactically against Risk. They aren't just a heavyweight champion type of team. They've also got the finesse. They're not just a puncher. They can outlast you too. So they're going to bring out the best in Rote Nova, and I fully expect to see more of the pushing from Rote Nova, but you can't just be blind with it. You've got to make it like absolutely perfect.
But every time we check the Discord after the victory of Risk team, they're so confident, so calm, like no emotions
I don't know
at
if
all.
it's calm. I don't think it's calm at
Nervous?
all. I think it's focus. I just think it's focus. Yeah. And I mean, if you're in a team with that many different nationalities and that many different languages, it certainly breeds chemistry. You've got to get good together, and you've got to do it without yelling and screaming in 15 different dialects. Like you've got to just become very, very good at doing your job. And I think you're looking at 7 guys there that just have a job, understand it, and do it. And wow, that last game, if they do their job like that every time, and surely that's got to be the high watermark. Like they can't just keep doing that. RN are too good.
Do you know that 3 team members from the Risk, they're playing Blitz in the very beginning?
Really?
Yeah, since 2014.
Yeah, not surprising.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Risk were originally Feast, and I played with a lot of those guys over the years. And there's some guys in there like Mozzarella and co who've been around forever. They really are staples on the APAC server. Here we go. So Risk have got F Silver in the bat chat. My amigo F Silver rolling in what he does best, the light tanks. Bat chat for Wadu again. So great battle between those two. They'll have a huge influence on the outcome. Rotenova going the D cap this time. I mean, Risk setting up for that B cap area. Last time we saw ID, they went through that B cap area. Risk obviously with a very different response here to a very different team. I am Bread Tank though, again in an Object 260. We don't see a lot of the Object 260, which is a shame. It's received a lot of uptick in the recent patch. Just settling in here. Again, Risk are going to be ahead on the cap points. AMX M4 MLE 54. So a couple of big AMXs there from Bifrost and Sugar Mugu. Big turreted tanks with nice punchy guns. F Silver sneaking a second cap. Wadu very isolated here. Look at the readjustment from the whole of the RN team. Now this, I think we're about to see a throw of the dice. They are stacking up behind that cap. They're hopeful, I believe, of catching someone out as Wadu gets... Oh, Wadu just copped a blind shot from F Silver. What a beautiful bit of work. He knows there's someone in that bush there. That is why you pay the man the money. F Silver absolutely kinged it. Smacked through the bush and he got the light bulb, letting him know that he was spotted. Immediately pulled back. That is the first serve and the hit for F Silver. They are up 2 caps to 1. Soon to be remedied by Kujo Jotaro. They are pretty disconnected at the back of the map there. I'm not sure. I think that's Schmert Potato in the VK7201K. But he's got lots of help if they do push that way. He's just kind of the anchor, letting them know. Rotenova aren't going that way, though. They've seen F Silver down there. Now, they're going to try and make him pay. F Silver's seen this movie before. He knows how Rotenova played, and he is gone. He is gone. He read the book and was already gone. That is a strong RN push down the flank, and they're looking, absolutely desperately looking for the brawl. They're looking to catch that tank that they can isolate. Look at Risk move. This is what you have to do against a team like RN. They are constantly flowing, giving them nothing. Lisa Elisa has been an unfortunately favoured punching bag by the boys and girls of RN. They've dropped, and look at this wonderful work. Lisa Elisa, that's who they've decided is going to be the next one across the RN focus fire. Here comes Wadu. He's going to dump. Lisa Elisa in all kinds of trouble. This is the push we expected, and just like that, Lisa Elisa is gone. Iron Bread Tank, though, has paid a huge price, and the judgment has been found wanting at the back alone. That's Bread Tank out of it. Look at this back and forth. Uppercut, jab, punch. Wadu desperately moving around. Pookie getting a huge mash of Hesh into the back. That is 2 tanks down a piece. Wadu is running on fumes. They've still got the bat chat of F Silver roaming around. He's behind the A cap. I don't know if he's going to get shots across, but Schmert Potato is holding in front of Nitroglycerin. Here comes the Murayama and Ploy Kickshaw. They're hungry for work. Sugar and Mugu's going to get cross shots. Is it going to matter? That's what Kujo Jotaro wants to do. Get in that cap. 809 now. F Silver, I believe, is coming back around the end. He's trying to get that B cap. He's hunting Wadu. That bat chat, very, very dangerous. Wadu's leaving, he's going around the corner. F Silver has to get back into the B cap as the Murayama starts dumping on the Schmert Potato. Here comes Sugar and Mugu. He's loaded that HE. Trash goes down. That's 842, 841. That is 3 caps for Rotenova, though. 3v4. Ploy Kickshaw and Wadu running on fumes now. Bifrost desperately. What a shot from them. Beautiful work. 3v3, but Wadu is combat ineffective. F Silver has hounded him. He's been on him like an absolute lunatic. Big power slide and he gets him. 2v2 now. Sugar and Mugu and F Silver, but 3 caps, 902, 921. They've got to get a cap. F Silver knows it. This has been glorious tanking from Rotenova. F Silver and Wadu have had a battle for the ages at the back end, and I feel, I don't know if I can call it, but it very much looks like Rotenova are going to just scrape across the line. Wow.
Yeah.
I thought that Risk had found another gear. and Rotenova just decided that they were going to go into 6th gear as well and drop the nitrous because they had to fight so hard for that game. They were never clearly ahead. That was absorbing all the pressure and dishing it back out. The Murayama and Kujo Jotaro doubling 4K. That's 9,000 damage right there. Sugu and Mugu and Bifrost were tremendous. Silva was hounding Wadu. Wadu stayed alive right till the end. What a bunch of absolute legendary tankers. These 14 kids are just wonderful work. The focus fire, the split, the way they managed the capture points at the same time. And look at Wadu. Look at Iron Bread Tank keeping the mobility of Wadu in the game by just getting in the way of that huge Hesh round. The Judgment, Bifrost, Sugar and Mugu, they were down there absolutely flogging him. Schmert Potato had a couple of great shots. I think he actually finished off Kujo Jotaro there at the end. Or was it Ploy Kickshaw? Wadu in the background, you can see him flying around and you can see F Silver. He knows where Wadu's going. He's howling down there, trying to chase him down. And this is when they get that third cap. Kujo Jotaro snapping up the C and the A at the same time. Just such a great bit of gameplay. We're so privileged to be watching these guys and the way they're playing. This is great, great tanking. If you want to emulate a team in Blitz Esports, these two teams are well worth looking at.
And exactly, that was a victory on Yukon map picked by Rotanova. And
Yeah.
the victory is also made by Rotanova. Congratulations. You know what? The next map is going to be Middleburg, and again, that is Rotanova's choice. Should we confirm our conspiracy?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I just want to see more of this. I just want to watch these guys do more of this. This is wonderful, wonderful tanking.
10 hours stream of Rotanova playing versus Frisk.
Let's do it.
That's
Let's
the
make it happen.
content we deserve, yeah. Okay, so best of luck to the teams on the Middleburg map.
Yeah, I watched the finals yesterday, and Risk had a wonderful strat here on Middleburg, much like a public game strat, using the lights to pre-spot the heavy push on the hill area, but then just dumping off and disappearing, coming back through and terrorizing crossfire-wise as those heavies climbed. One of the reasons that works so well is because you can crossfire down, but it's very difficult to crossfire up. Once you're on the hill, you fight for hills, not holes, as they say in this man's army, and it's very, very important that you manage those crossfires on this map. It's absolutely clutch and key.
Yeah, but Middleburg, have we ever noticed anything legendary on this map?
What do you
During our tournaments?
do? You mean like the No, I'm thinking of Fort Despair.
For the spray only,
Yeah.
yeah. Maybe this is the time.
Could be the one. There we go. The blind shot's down. This is a trademark of this map. Everyone knows they're crossing. This is very odd, though. We've got no light tanks at all from Risk and no light tanks at all from Rotenova. These teams have been saving their strats for this final. This is absolutely not the strat that we saw from Risk earlier in the week. Ploy Kickshaw role-playing a light tank there in the trees. He's very, very still, very, very stationary. Risk are lining up single file behind the C-cap, behind Pookie. Wadu's probably going to spot him as they come across here. There's no denying you can't stick up there forever. The Judgment and Sugar and Mugu are going to have their own little special game of fun down in the city. They are 100% isolated. It is a good old public match, 6v6 at the top of the tower. Risk v Rotenova. How did Risk cap that? You have got, and then Kujo Jotaro cops one for 400 in the VK from an IS-7. One of the worst gun handling tanks you can get a hold of. They're giving ground here. The IS-7 of the Murayama. Here comes the Judgment. Sugar and Mugu needs to get moving. He needs to get moving now because the Judgment is going to get up there and make this a 7v6. Rotenova looking to isolate. Bifrost got absolutely pounded. He's gone. They're going to get him. No, he's on nothing. 120 hit points. They want Bifrost. They want him bad. F Silver and Lisa. Look at Wadu. The corresponding Wadu. Bifrost is pushing it across. Crazy. The kid's mad for it. Wadu's still there, 103. Not for long, though, as we see Mozzarella roll up the top and rip into him. He's on 564 himself. They're rolling down the mountain now. This is anybody's game. The hit points are favouring Risk, but there's no doubt they're still in this. Mozzarella hangs in there now. 86 hit points. They take another victim. How are they doing? How are they doing? They're doing great. Sugar and Mugu now arriving to add an absolute bucket load of hit points to the battle, and Risk are looking their dominant self again. In their victories, they are amazing, and in their defeats, they are scrappy, and they are going to go 3-2 up here on what has been an absolutely devastatingly absorbed push by Rote Nova. They came across the top of the mountain. They had an extra tank there, and it didn't matter. Risk, look at that. Look at that. They have 6 tanks up at the end of that. Mozzarella was running on the sniff of an oily rag. There was nothing left in the hit point pool, and all they lost was Bifrost. And I'll mind you, Bifrost pushed across the top of the light tank spotting bush and tried to get a shot in the back of Wadu. Loves it. Look at the focus.
Okay.
Look at the determination.
Now we know that it's called focus. Okay, the conspiracy theory is not confirmed, ladies and gentlemen. And that was a victory made by Risk. The current score is 3-2. and
Best of 9.
yeah,
and there's
it's
plenty
a
of
hot
chicken
match.
left on that bone.
It's a hot, interesting match. So, okay, let's check how it was.
This was such a simple map. And Rote Nova got out-traded, which is their absolute hallmark. Shugun Mugu's at the back in the little ditch there. The Judgment mirrors him on the other side. And then it's just a 6v6. Ploy Kickshaw getting the early spots. Wadu is there. He's spotted in the 215B. The way Risk went from this point here, protecting their hit points, sharing their hit points. Look at Pookie come rolling up here. This is absolutely massive. Mozzarella takes 47 damage from that. 47 damage from that HE hit and rolls out with 39 hit points. 38 more than he needed, really. He's just getting maximum return on the investment. Really amazing stuff. Great tanking. And just when they look good, they look really good.
So true, so true. We should make the list of classic quotations made by Bushka during our tournaments.
Made up.
Yeah. Okay, so the next map is going to be Faust. Again, we already saw this map during today's finals. So what's going to happen this time in the final match between two strongest teams of Asia region? We'll find it out pretty soon. Best of luck to Rote Nova and Risk.
Faust, where you can get trapped going low down under the missile silo there, and it can go terribly, terribly wrong. Or on one of these ramps. It's a map that really punishes any kind of mistake in your positional play. It's very easy to get caught out and in a position where you can't actually support your teammates. And you would think this would favour Risk. Rote Nova certainly struggled with this against ID. It was ID's best game when they played them on Faust. I don't think they'll mistime their push like they did in that game this time out, but there's no telling how it's going to go with these two teams. They are sensational. They know everything about each other, and they've seen it all before. They've been in finals before. They give us the best of the best. Let's see how they roll out here. We've got a lot of heavies. 19,007, nearly 20,000 hit points for Rote Nova there. Risk running a bat chat with F Silver. That could be incredibly important as it goes long into the night. They're going to try and triple cap the C, I think. D already down for Rote Nova. But this is the kind of map. Ploy Kickshaw is in an interesting spot. Ploy Kickshaw is past the B cap. It's like he's going to get a prize if he gets the opposition spawn early. He's gone all the way through past the B cap. Really nice area there. He can spot that ramp and he can't get hit from the other side. He's got cover from the heavies above between C and D. The A cap, I think we're going to see F Silver pay his dues here while you run a light tank. He's going to sneak up there and try and grab A. Spotting across. Rotenova are lined up behind the C cap. They've got plenty there. 3 tanks at C, 1 high above C, 2 at D for the boys and girls of Risk. And they are very much playing the same strat that ID played against Rotenova earlier today. F Silver's going to cap that. So they're going to get 2 caps now. They've taken D and they're going to grab A. Rotenova, not renowned for worrying about the caps. They've been doing a good job on the supremacy points thus far today. Kujo Jatoro, big miss from Sugar and Mugu, but obviously the mouse, very difficult. Look at F Silver sneaking up the back door. Hello, the Murayama, how you going? No, he says Kujo Jatoro is going to get all my love. Don't run away from love, Kujo. As F Silver, Lisa again, 341 hit points. What have they got against Lisa Elisa? Lisa Elisa goes down first, and this is very promising for Rotenova. They have nailed the push through the middle. Kujo Jatoro and the Murayama are holding strong at the top. F Silver's dumped 2 clips now and not been able to clear that monstrously big mouse. And this is Rotenova striking back immediately. As good as Risk looked on Middleburg is exactly how good Rotenova look right now. These 2 teams do not know how to get ahead. We are going to go 3-all again, and I love it. What an incredible bit of work from Rotenova. They mistimed the push during the lower bracket final here, and ID punished them for it, and they didn't make the same mistake this time. Worked across the board, stay connected, and Pookie and F Silver aren't going to be able to get the job done here, as Kujo Jatoro was monumental on the top of that mountain. Absolutely rolled it in the mouse and took next to nothing back. F Silver will never give in, never surrender. But I think the writing is on the board, my friend. He's looking. One last clip. No, not to be done.
No. Okay, that's a final sweet result. 3-3 is the current score. Congratulations, Rotenova. How wrong I was when I said that the Risk is stronger. Of course not.
This is crazy. Last game, Rotenova got beat. 6 tanks left on the board. This game, Rotenova win, 6 tanks left on the board. They've been back and forth. The level of gameplay here just keeps getting higher and higher. Big mistakes there from from Risk. They absolutely got left alone. Lisa Elisa, they're playing Lisa Elisa, obviously is the hold heavy there, and Rotenova eat the hold heavy alive. It's just one of those things. If you're the guy at the front line, or the girl at the front line, you're going to struggle. Rotenova look to isolate. Pookie at the back in the 215B. Very difficult that far away on this map to actually support. Look at Kujo Jatoro. They gave up a tank there at the top, the Murayama, I think it was, and it didn't make any difference. They had so many hit points and rolled through so precisely. Were able to roll through that spawn, no problems, no stalling out, and there's nothing you can do. Once you give away that many tanks, they already had nearly 20,000 hit points. I mean, you're lining up in an esports event for Blitz with nearly 20,000 hit points. That's so many hit points. Like, getting through that much when they're not visible for very long is so difficult. Even if you're running 215Bs and you've got all the DPM in the world, these tanks are running channels and they're sharing hit points and their armor profiles are perfect. You've got to be very, very good to beat it.
Let's check how the team adjusts to the situation and how they will act on the Alpine map. Let's change the weather and the night from night to day. Yeah, Alpine beautiful, beautiful map.
3-all. This is so important in this game. This is the leverage. If you win this game, you get 2 bites at the apple to try and clear it out and go to 5. You've got to think that both teams are going to be desperate here, and we're going to see the most pressure-packed tanking thus far. We just saw Risk get pincered savagely on the Faust map. We just saw Rotenova get the same done to them on Middleburg. Are we going to see a more even field here on Alpenstadt? F Silver in the bat chat. It's where he does his best work. Wadu in the bat chat. Hasn't it been a joy to watch these two duel it out on the light flanks? thus far today. We need more of it. They should be forced to run a bat chat on every single map, these two guys. They've been a highlight of this grand final series on the APAC server. Plenty of hit points again, but not as much as we saw in the last tilt. Obviously, a very different map. They're heavily town-oriented here. Rote Nova, I don't think they're going to be doing much capping. They are spreading out across behind the back of the B cap. F Silver's already abandoned the A cap flank. No, he's actually going high up to the spotting bush above the A cap. So there is their own little battle within a battle there. Ploy Kickshaw takes a big hit. 1794 there for Trash. He's already taken a couple of hits down the back end behind that C cap. Bifrost getting the better of that engagement. Shugu and Mugu sharing hit points nicely. The Nitroglycerin Lisa tilt is behind the B cap. I don't know that anyone's going to be terrifically worried about the cap points right now. The light tank battle, no one spotted anywhere on the map. You can see Murayama, the only one spotted there. Pookie now spotted as well. But both teams really worried, I think. Both teams are really worried about making a mistake here. Double tank in front of Bifrost. He's got Pookie for cover. But if they isolate anywhere, I would think Bifrost may well be the tank they look to clear. Look at this. This bush is a friendly bush. Do not hurt this bush. This bush, F Silver, we saw he gave a wonderful snap into Wadu on Yukon. I wonder if Wadu's going to return the favour as we go back to town. And you can see that Sugar and Mugu's starting to bleed just a little bit on the edge. The Murayama's fired, and they're not able to make him pay for that. Pookie can't poke out too far because Kujo Jotaro has cross shots in the mouse. Although Kujo Jotaro obviously taking one from the Pookmeister there. Here comes F Silver. He's rolling in, and we're going to see a 1v1 on the Batchat flank, I think. Bifrost, we called it. Bifrost is the tank that they were going to go for, and they have isolated. That was a 3v1, and he is going to go out the back door. The judgment's already gone, though. They did the same to him in the middle of town. You can see Mozzarella drop the big donk with the tungsten shells. This is an absolutely beautiful move here in the middle. Lisa paying the respects to Kujo Jotaro, who absolutely trounced Lisa. May get the final touch here. There is a big play coming through, though, now from the Murayama, and they're going to look to isolate F Silver and Wadu. They're at a standstill out on the flank. F Silver has abandoned it, and he's rolling back through the middle of Alpenstadt, looking to support his heavy teammates. Ploy Kickshaw into the back of Shugu and Mugu. This is going to hurt. They're trying to put shots in the bread tank. He gets one more. 528. Nice roll there for Shugu and Mugu. And he's going to try and side hug. F Silver's on the top. He wants to dump. What a fight back from Rote Nova. They're not bad at brawling, these kids. It's now 5 tanks versus 3. They were all in kinds of trouble. But Nitroglycerin, it's all or nothing. Track there, no. Bread tank gets away with it. Had the repair kit. Lisa needs to make this. This is not good. Oh, Lisa rolling down. Bread tank's going to get away. No. Wadu says get wrecked. Oh, big hits. Lisa now. Pookie struggling, running, desperate, needed a hit clash, needed to make it count, does make it count. 606, but there's too many tanks. Wadu coming away, the champion on the flank and dumping. And we've seen Rote Nova nose ahead to 1 victory away from what would be an absolutely charmed performance. They were down. They were in the lower bracket final. They weren't fancied against ID, and they absolutely chomped them. And now we've rolled through to the final, and they've taken a hell of a counterpunch from Risk. Risk looked very good there. It was like they had it for a moment. And then after the judgment went down and Trash went down, they just brawled better. That's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
You can see here we thought Bifrost might have been the isolated target. Rote Nova obviously discussed it. They lined 2 up behind the C cap. Trash took a bit of a pounding to get there at first, but Bifrost, obviously the I7, not a great tank in terms of DPM. Kujo Jotaro got cornered, and right now, Rote Nova are behind on both, Risk are both behind on tanks and hit points. But then from there on in, Rote Nova just ground them down. They just kept finding opportunities to put multiple tanks on one target. And they are the best in the business at that brawling, trading play style. They've gone back to it here. They love it when it turns into a brawl. They love it when it turns into a trade, and they made the most of it here on Alpenstadt. We are seeing what could possibly be one game away from the new APAC champions of the Blitz Stellar Cup. All the pressure now on Risk.
You or repeatable, we don't know yet. Let's check what's going to happen. The next map is going to be Rockfield. So rock this field, guys, and best of luck. I think that we need some more victory from Risk again to make
one more from Risk. Come on, guys, lift.
To make it equal.
Well, it's been back and forth, but that's 2 in a row now for Rote Nova. That is a worrying sign for the boys and girls of Risk. Rockfield, one of the original maps, obviously a clear definition of labour. Capping the B cap is difficult. You're either an A cap or a C cap to start. Rote Nova went C heavy-handed and caught ID out. Pashtiet got smashed in the 215B. I don't know if they're going to follow the same thing. F Silver and the boys of Risk need to stand up and get a win here. They are going hot and heavy across to the A cap, leaving no one behind. Rote Nova are going to get C for free if they want it. I don't know that they do. They are covering pretty nicely here. F Silver getting vision. He's only seen 2 though. He's got to be wondering where Wadu is. Wadu's going to see F Silver there and may well be a little bit brave and go all the way around the spawn. He is. F Silver isn't going to see. F Silver is going to get vision and side shots at the back. They are trying to pincer, and they have really pushed hard through. F Silver's going to go high on the top. You can see he's in the TD position behind the C cap. Trash took a hit again early, but that happened in the last game, and he held his hit points beautifully all the way through till they cleared Bifrost. F Silver's taken a big flogging. They've tried to isolate down there. This is a big change. The first Object 777 we've seen in this Grand Final series. They are going for Trash, I believe. The Murayama's there. F Silver's still pouring in DPM from the back. Sugar and Mugu in a little trouble. That is Trash gone again. Schmirt Potato, though, in the 777. He's got to be out. Here comes Pookie. They're now looking for Ploy Kickshaw. Schmirt Potato, the longer he can stay alive, the better they are. There's the commentator's curse again. And they strike back immediately. Schmirt Potato's out. Sugar and Mugu's in massive trouble. Sugar and Mugu, 241. They've taken the Murayama. Ploy Kickshaw must go next. They are desperately struggling. Back and forth. Brawling like champions. They have the A cap and it's not going to matter. Wadu's now fully clipped up and there goes Sugar and Mugu. F Silver does the return and serve on the other side and they're boarded back to a 4v4. But here, F Silver's found him. He's got one left. He clears him. That was the game right there. Can they turn 4 tanks versus 2 into a victory? They need to. Nitroglycerin goes out. It's got to be Iron Bread Tank. They're swarming, coming like a school of fish at the big IS-7 of Iron Bread Tank. Lisa looking to return the favour. Loads up. Smashes a HE in, I think. Iron Bread Tank on 36 hit points. Will it matter? Lisa taking big damage at the back. And one more. That could be very, very important in the scheme of things. Lisa takes it out now. Just Kujo Jataro, the captain, my captain, doing the level best at the top. It's been a brawl, but for once, it was not the boys and girls of Rote Nova who came out on top. It was the laser focus of Risk, who when the chips were down, who when everything was on the line, came up and absolutely trounced RN at what they do best. They brawled them. They out-brawled them. Just one game after losing Alpenstadt, we are at a level board again.
4-4.
We're going to game 9, baby. Look at this. The way Wadu goes all the way through behind the C cap, rather than capping C and letting them know that he's on the way, he just rolls through to the TD slot, and you can see this push. It looked ill-timed. He had Wadu behind him, but Schmirt Potato hung in there long enough for Iron Bread Tank to have to focus on him, and they just ruined Ploy Kickshaw. Wadu, look at F Silver screaming across the top of the mountain. He's like, you got me last game, buddy. You're not going to get me again. This has been such a wonderful drive from two talented teams. They are pouring it on here, neck and neck. Wadu and co, they had won 2 straight. They had outbrawled twice. And now Lisa, I felt great for Lisa actually getting that clear.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to see the tiebreaker. The Hellas map will decide who is going to be the champion of Blitz Stellar Cup of APAC region. The two strongest teams are facing each other for the last time for this tournament. Who will take this championship cup? Rotanova or Risk? We'll find out pretty soon. Hellas, the last map of today's championship.
The tiebreak map. And you know why this is pretty crazy? This is the tiebreak map that we've seen many games decided on. The NA finals were decided on this map. It's brutal. It's brutal. It's short, it's sharp, it's hard. It's going to be the absolute litmus test for greatness. It's been a pleasure to commentate these two tremendously talented teams as they've worked their way through what has been a neck and neck final series. Here we go. Our first 60 TP. Our first 60 TP, that is Nitroglycerin and Lisa in 60 TPs here. Wadu is in the bat chat, as is F Silver. It has been one of the highlights of my week, watching these two grubs go back and forth across the Blitz Tundra. F Silver going the heavy route though, trying to sneak B-cap. That's a very brave move and he's spotted. He's got to get the hell out of Dodge. That is way too dangerous. Ploy, Kickshaw and I and Bread Tank, they only know one way, and that's forward, and they've isolated. They've spotted an opportunity, and they are rolling through that cap. They want B. Mozzarella's there in the VK7201K. He's a little isolated. Are they going to try and get him? Because I love where Risk is with this. They've already put 2 heavy tanks round the back through C. You can see Wadu is screaming away across the Hellas map. Mozzarella's the call. The tungsten shells gets dropped. They've got 3 tanks coming in. They're going to burn hit points to do it. Mozzarella's holding on for dear life. Wadu has traded damage for distance. Mozzarella's out. 247 hit points. He's just a reload away. They've got 3 tanks, 4 tanks, 5 tanks in the Risk spawn, and they're a tank down. Wadu's on 68, but they haven't been able to clear him. They've got to get rid of that bat shot. He's way too dangerous. 60 TP of Nitroglycerin and Lisa. There's 3 tanks in the back here, but they've got 5 tanks lined up against them, and they still haven't cleared Wadu. Ploy Kickshaw getting pounded at the back. Nitroglycerin, they've isolated. They've decided he's the man. 788. That's the role you want. Rotenova are in trouble hit point wise, but they've still got guns in the game. Look at Risk absorbing. Lisa's gone. F Silver screaming through, looking for Wadu. Can't find Wadu. He's on the reload. He's dumped. 5 tanks versus 5 tanks. The hit points definitely in the favour of Risk. They have absorbed the absolute heavyweight punch, and now they're coming back and giving it to him. Nitroglycerin and Pookie holding the corner. Ploy Kickshaw on the reload, uncrowned. F Silver's the danger man. Look at him at the back of the map. They've cleared Wadu. The Murayama's in real strife. There are 3 shots coming from this bat chat right now. Pookie down. This is dangerous. They need to get rid of the Murayama. Aim harder. Aim some more. 322 hit points. He's gone. 2v4. I think they're going to do it. I think they've asked the question. I think that Rotenova put it to him, gave him their best shot, swung hard from the bleachers, and Ploy Kickshaw on 21 hit points. Can't give any more. The gun's going to go up, and he is gone. And they're finally smiling as the boys and girls of this esteemable Risk team are finally smiling. They are pumped. What a game. What an incredible effort. Go and do it. They've got to be stoked. Rotenova desperately unhappy in defeat. They deserved it. Both sides deserved it. But on the day, there can only be one winner. And your APAC champions are Risk again.
Congratulations, well deserved. Risk is the best team of Blitz Stellar Cup Championship on our APAC region. Congratulations, we have the champion here,
Wow.
Team Risk. Congratulations.
What a game. What a
Very
game.
happy for you.
Oh, I was sure Rote Nova had it.
Yeah.
They came through the spawn, they isolated it, but Risk, more than any other opponent they've seen, is able to absorb that pressure and just keep dragging back.
Yeah.
And they traded damage for distance. They made Rote Nova go further and further and further to get to the next target. You saw that 60 TP hit for nearly 800 as they crossed, and they just kept doing it to him. And even though they had as many tanks, the hit points started to tell. It was a war of attrition. Wadu and F Silver rolling around the back of the map. We were privileged to watch it. Great gameplay from all. Just tremendous.
It was a pleasure, and I think that exactly this last match should be in the books. How to play Blitz.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, that was a beautiful lesson, and I liked that the power of the teams are so equal.
Yeah.
So equal. Rotanova, the second place is yours, and you are fighting so hard and so beautifully for the second place. And of course, our respects and love go to you, to your team. Hugs and support. Great job. The second place is a beautiful result for such a tremendous, I would say, fight.
They've got to be the best second place team you're ever going to see. Like, Risk would hate for this to go to 10 or 11 games. They just,
Right.
You can never feel safe with these kids. They're just ridiculously talented.
Okay, here we go. The champion of Blister Cup is Risk. That was a pleasure to share the moment of glory for our beautiful team Risk. We are waiting for the captain to be interviewed with us here in the studio. And of course, we want to congratulate this legendary team with the victory again. So, captain will join us as soon as everything is ready. And meanwhile, guys, share with us your emotion. How did you like this beautiful APAC final? I think it was legendary,
Yeah.
and we have some beautiful moments to share in socials after. What was the tank of this match?
I think the bat chats.
Bat chat,
Because
beautiful, yeah.
It wasn't just that they were so good damage-wise. They weren't. It was just they were the tactical arm of both teams. There was so much
Absolutely.
cut and thrust.
Of course. Let's invite Jack, Wild One's helper, to discuss how it was, because we have something to discuss, and unexpectedly for me, frankly speaking, we had 9 battles.
Yeah, that's right.
Hello, Jack.
Hang on, we can't hear him again. He's
Oh, just a second. Of course, Jack, we can wait for you for eternity.
Hi.
Yeah.
There we are. We got you.
There we go. Okay, so amazing grand final. I'm really impressed by both of these teams. In fact, this is actually my 8th tiebreaker of this season on the APAC server. Yes, and I don't know, like APAC server loves a good tiebreaker, and we were served an amazing one. So
We really did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take us away, mate.
Right, let's take a look at the first battle on Dynasty's Pearl. Interesting battle from both teams. I think Aaron, just as I said earlier, threw a curveball here. They really didn't go for a huge push at the start, and I love how Risk kind of took out Wilder right here. But the main problem for Risk here is they kind of rotated out, leaving B and C out in the open, and allowed RN to capture both of these spaces and gave them the win. Going over to the second battle on Oasis Palms, I can say it's really great positioning from Risk, and I love how they kind of tackle RN's strategy. I think that, however, the issue for Risk here is kind of the positioning and defending the push from RN. That gave RN some breathing space, but Risk maintained that lead by capturing B as well, and just maintaining that count lead to pile more pressure onto RN. But it was otherwise a really close game for me. Okay, and yeah, it's just all in all, what else do I need to say? Risk a bit shaky with shot efficiency, but great focus fire from our end on the counter boost and great strat from Risk. And yeah, that's all I have for the second battle. And going over to the third battle on Ghost Factory, I must say I'm very impressed at how Risk tackled that push from our end. And yes, a double 215Bs go down there, but Risk, they were in really good positions to do crossfire. I think the main point here is crossfire. Risk did this really, really well. A bit of a scare from Risk kind of in the mid to late game stages where they kind of bounce a couple of crucial shots, but it isn't going to affect them in the end as they have a substantial cap lead and RN was unable to reduce that numerical disadvantage. So well done to Risk, great focus fire, great positioning, great crossfire, just all in all, a wonderful performance from Risk in this battle. Going over to the fourth battle on Yukon. For me, it's the closest battle, and it's also the best battle of the entire series. I'm just going to split hairs at this point to point out the issues for both teams, because both teams, what they have done really well here is that they have really good focus fire, really good positioning, and really good crossfire for Risk. I think the main. The one mistake that Risk made is defending that push from our end. And I think that could have been the reason why Risk lost. It was so close. Yeah. I think Risk didn't do anything wrong at the end. Like, they have done everything right. Maybe if they could kill the tanks a little bit more quickly, they could have got it. It was just splitting hairs again at this point to point out their mistakes. Just so close. Both teams putting up a really, really great performance here. And just really good focus fire, really good teamwork all around. Just I think if you want to learn from both teams here, I think the last battle will be the one. Looking at the fifth battle, I think this is the one where one team dominates over another. But for me, I think Risk has really good positioning. I think this push from Ara is alright. It's good. It's a well-timed push. It is effective in that it kills Bifrost, but what Risk did real well here is that they counter push. They pinch it from behind and they deny that good initial push from our end. Once again, great focus fire from both teams. And going over to the next battle, I forgot the number.
Yeah.
Oh, well, some number.
Some number over on Faust. This time it's the other way around. Like, RN traded a lot better than Risk. It's kind of a bit of a rare battle for me, because usually Risk is the one that trades better than RN, but this time it's RN that trades better than Risk at the start. And it was just that start that gives them such a huge advantage for them to capitalize, and Risk just didn't have a lot that they could do to salvage this battle. I mean, Risk, again, really good focus fire, but also Risk, a couple of bounces didn't really help their metas at all. It's just a dominant performance from Aaron, especially having that bright start helps a lot in these cases, to be fair. And going over to the next battle on Alpenstadt, I believe that is the seventh battle, if I remember correctly. So I got the number back.
Seventh, right.
Yeah, so amazing job from Aaron to push onto Bifrost and Risk good counter push to address what Aaron did. But I think the main point here is that 1v1 fight of the Batchats, which unfortunately they didn't get caught.
I was watching it on the
camera.
On the mini-map.
Yeah, Wada was dominating that 1v1 fight, and I think for me it's the main reason why RM won that. And Risk, I mean, again, good focus fire. Just it was down to individual skills in this battle, and Aaron just had better individual skills, better shot efficiency from Aaron as well. So going over to the eighth battle, this time on Rockfield. Again, really great setup from Risk. Good positioning. I think Aaron had a plan to kind of outpush Risk, kind of create a surprise, but Risk came prepared. And RN just going to push forward, and they were left in really exposed positions. And Risk just did a really good, well-timed push. And I love how F-Silver kind of smothered Wadu. You know, Wadu was still really healthy. Like F-Silver coming screaming down to, you know, put Wadu
really
down
did
to
cover
one
each
shot.
other, didn't they? They were great.
Yeah. Oh my god. So all in all, a great coordination of push from Risk, and I'm really impressed at how Risk pulled this off. It was kind of a textbook push from the top teams here, and yeah, just again good focus fire from Risk in the last battle, and this tiebreaker, it was again a really close battle. Once again, Risk it's just so good with positioning, especially at the start to soak up the push from RN, and they did it again the same. What made it so close is RN hit point pool sharing. They shared the hit points so effectively. It gave me a scare because Risk was like not killing the tanks, but in the end, Risk just had too many hit points to contend with, and they got back the numerical advantage in the end, and RM wasn't able to make use of the numbers they had. They just simply didn't have enough hit points at that time.
Absolutely beautiful match, beautiful victories, and this heartwarming GGs in the final of the battle that decided who is the champion of our Blitz Stellar Cup APAC region. Jack, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to listen to your analytics, and you're just an amazing man. Thank you. Go on, and we'll see you pretty soon.
Thanks very much. Thanks to be here, and see you all very soon. Congratulations to Risk again, and commiserations to RM.
Thank you. So the team member of the Risk team is waiting for the interview. Jump into the studio, nitroglycerin, and we want to congratulate you with the victory. Hello.
Hey mate, well done.
Well done, congratulations, you're the champion, and we are proud to announce it for the whole world. Great job.
Can't hear you,
Unmute your
mate.
microphone. We cannot still read on lips.
Oh no, I can't hear him.
We can think that he says thank you. I'm very proud of my team.
He said go and watch Bushka's YouTube channel. That's what he just said.
Bushka, free advertisement is not in the contract.
Sorry. No, I can't.
No, still not.
No.
We can at least
I have questions.
enjoy.
I have questions.
I think that we can make the list of questions and send them. Okay, so let's try to reconnect our dear nitroglycerin. Why nitroglycerin? How do you think?
It's an explosion.
Yeah,
explosive. He's explosive in a tank. He doesn't look that explosive in real
Yeah,
life. Looks
absolutely.
very calm and
Yeah,
very focused
yeah,
in real life.
When
But in a tank.
when they won, I saw just relief on the face, like not happiness, not wild emotions.
They were so
just
focused
relief.
for so long. And when they won, you're dead on. There was just a lot of, oh, we got it done. Like, it was tense.
Bushka, do you play some tournaments with voice connection with your team?
Not these days. Back in the day when it was all starting out, we did. We were hopeless. We got absolutely dominated, and we had heaps of arguments. We had one bloke leave the clan. It was all screaming, and this is all grown men with kids.
So
it was one.
no calm discussions.
We stopped. We're like, why are we getting beat? Surely we're better than everyone else. No, we're not. We're pretty bad.
You were shouting at each other?
I wasn't shouting. No, I wasn't shouting. I was very aware of my own limitations. But we did have some other people that believed they were a lot better than they actually were. Let's just say I'd like to, I'd like to be as good as they thought they were, and we would have been all right. But yeah, good fun. Always something you should do. And if you haven't thought about jumping in these tournament series, you should. There's lots of different levels for it. You can have fun, and you just might find that you're good at it, and you get to play it all the time. And it's with your buddies, and it's just fun. Just go and do it. Give it a shot.
Absolutely. So, I think that the captain is still fighting with the technical problems right now. At least he won in the tournament. Maybe this battle with the call is more harder than Rotanova.
Oh, it's always a difficult one with the old Discord. Like I could troubleshoot it for him, but just yeah, it was, to me, we were very, very lucky to have two teams that were both hitting form at the same time. And the fact that Risk had to come from 4-3 down at the end after Rotanova had won two very convincing victories, that game on Rockfield was very, 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 very tense. They knew that it was all over if they couldn't get the job done. Fingers crossed they go on from here and we get to see these two teams play a lot more.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we want to say big thanks for watching this live stream. It was a beautiful, beautiful final that must watch for everyone who love World of Tanks Blitz. One more time, congratulations to the Team Risk. You are the champions of Blitz Stellar Cup of APAC region, and well-deserved victory. Congratulations. We are proud of you. Big hugs and love to all the team members. I know that you're from all over the world, and you guys just made the beautiful, beautiful victory. Great job, Team ID, third place, Rotanova, second place. That was beautiful tournament. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. So thank you so much, Bushka.
Thanks for having me. What a privilege.
Jack, what was helper? Cheers to you again. Thank you so much. And of course to you, dear viewers. It was a pleasure to stream for you. Thank you so much. And we'll see you on Blitz Stellar Cup Europe pretty soon. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.